Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Look at that.
We are here with episode 23 of this particular game. Oh, God, I just realized my face is up there. Let's close that shit. We're up here with Haunting of Harrowstone, episode 23. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. We did take a week off, and we've only got a couple of weeks before we actually go back on hiatus for a few, like three or 4 weeks, just so we can squeeze through the holidays. We've got Christmas and New Year's, and I've got a lot of stuff with my family in the beginning of the year that I'm trying to get through. So I imagine that it's very similar to a lot of you guys, or at least I hope it is, and I'm not just wasting everybody's time. So
Not me.
Nope.
I ain't got shit to do except Christmas.
The week after Christmas, I'm running that stupid marathon because I make poor choices. So
is that the dopey?
Yeah.
I'll be playing Minecraft and then some more Minecraft.
Yeah, I just got to get through holidays for retail and then I'm good.
Can we switch? I'll do Minecraft and you can run the.
No,
Can I come to your marathon and bring a drone and deliver you things as you run with the drone?
Oh my God! How much do I have to pay you to make that a reality?
Care packages just mid-run.
Really? Like,
Wow.
I don't own a drone, and I've never flown one, so I might
okay. It's easy.
collide it with you.
That's fine.
Do
Take
it on
off her
Twitch,
arm.
You're done.
I'm okay with that. I'll be like, hey, Cobalt, can I have a banana? Go.
Yeah, banana yogurts. Boom.
Oh.
I'm like an evil genie. You're gonna kind of get what you asked for.
I'm okay with that. By mile 20, I give 0 fucks. None. I'm like,
fair.
I don't care what happens.
That's fair. I can't be mad at that. I mean, I hope if you're there, make sure that people can squeeze you into the recording so I want to see the drone action live. I've always wanted one of those, but I'm a broco, so
I
don't
have
a
one
drone.
and I love it. It's very cool, but it does take a little bit to learn
It
to
does.
fly.
Does it?
Otherwise,
Because it's
and
all
you
backwards.
can cut somebody,
You
so
can.
don't go flying that into
Yeah.
someone's face.
Haircut.
They will get tangled in your hair and pull it out of your scalp. Just, yeah. Maggie says that you make that look, but you know it's gonna happen. My ex
I mean,
had,
I don't let it
Stick
get
with
that
my
close
little
to me
one.
to do any kind of
but it
thing
could.
like that.
Yeah, see,
I 100%. I'm making that look because I could see that happening.
Yeah.
yeah,
You think there are
Go ahead.
drone peepers?
Of course
know,
there
like-
are.
Oh yeah.
Of course
yeah.
there are.
Yeah,
Okay,
million
I see what
percent.
you're saying, like creepers
Yeah.
with
Like-
cameras. Yeah.
That was
pretty
the
sure-
first thing that.
They're flying around the
I know
people's
what I could do
houses.
with this.
I'm pretty sure
that was
that's a
the
whole
first thing
thing.
that happened.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the whole thing already.
Man.
I feel like I can't trust myself with a drone just because I would fuck it up, or I would run it into something or fly into airspace I'm not supposed to be in.
We could-
I just know it's only a matter of time till I fuck up. So
One
I
of,
Do you
don't
get
even want to get
chills?
into it. So it's just like,
one of our
Attach
tenants here got
candles to
evicted
'em.
for that. For drone peeping.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are
really?
not allowed to fly it in certain places, but there's
Yeah.
like apps
well,
that will
like
tell
drone
you
peeping
where
is
there's
fine.
no fly
I have no
zones.
problem with that actually.
I kind of want to sponsor a drone for Cobalt and Ello, but they have to be in the same place. Like it will, like this is a Netflix show. We'll put it on Netflix. Ronald has something to watch, right?
Yeah.
Ello
very
and
cool.
Cobalt learn how to fly
We're
a drone.
gonna battle them. We're gonna attach Roman
Battle
candles to
drones.
them
Height, then
and just go
jousting.
ham. Yeah, jousting's cool too.
Yeah,
That'd
I'm
be fun.
gonna like tape some Nerf guns to mine and like chase people in the neighborhood like joggers and
I
stuff.
am already subscribed to this newsletter.
Yeah, I'll
Oh
I'll
my
put a
gosh.
GoPro on it and I'll hook like
Oh, yeah.
automatic.
Oh,
Nerf gun,
can
like,
we have a?
Oh,
Can we send
they
a
all
drone
make-
into
just, like, I'll
Harrowstone
Yeah.
first?
battlefield.
Yeah, they come with
Like
cameras for the most part.
I would tie an igniter to an M80 and then just have it on a long piece of string and then just fly over things and just
See,
have it
this
blow
is-
up.
This is why I can't have it. This is exactly why I can't have it because I might really try.
Or
to do
why
this.
you can have it.
Stop it.
No, I
Have
will
you ever
enable the
released
I
shit
have
out of
flown
this.
my-
Kind of friend. An
into a
enabler.
tree before, but not on purpose. Like
Did the blades break or was it all like intact still?
a little bit, but not enough where I had to replace them because I did bring replacement ones with me.
Yeah.
But basically, what was happening was I had flown it out across like a lake, and it was like starting to get low on battery, so it was like coming back towards me.
It's still there.
But it's basically when it gets low on battery, it goes straight direct like path back to its home, wherever you set your home to. And there was a tree between me and that path, and it just like went straight ham into the tree, fell in the water. My fiance
Oh,
just like
no.
jumped into the water, clothes, shoes, everything. Like, didn't even care. Like 2 seconds, didn't even think about it. I was like, what are you doing?
It's like I'm buying one of those again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
But I've seen people
Sounds
drop
like
them
your
like way
party
down to the
that
bottom
all
of the
of a
lake and
sudden-
pull them back out, and they're
Yeah.
fine.
We're in
You
this
just gotta
lake and
completely let
just-
them dry.
Everyone jumps straight in.
Yeah,
Whenever
I
I
know.
put anything in water, I put it in
I
rice.
was gonna say just put it
And
in
it
rice.
always-
You don't have to put it in
That's
rice.
kinda what we're
You just have to
taught,
let
right?
it like dry completely before you turn it back on.
It's always fixed.
Why not just throw it?
Always.
Back in rice.
Why not just use silica packets?
I
Wouldn't that
don't
be
have those on
faster?
hand. You know how many boxes of minute rice I have in my fucking closet? Like so many. How many silica packets do you have on hand?
Oh,
A whole
man.
shoebox worth.
I have a lot
You
of them.
could-
I don't believe
you could
that.
build
Are you
like
trying
a
to
giant-
murder someone?
I really do.
I have a lot of them.
Yours
yeah.
makes sense. You're a crafter. You make things, and that totally makes sense. Why do you have it?
I throw them away because they're gonna kill one of my creatures in my house.
Yes.
I just got them over time, and then I was told that I guess they help keep like vegetables fresh. If you put them in the refrigerator at the bottom, it's supposed to pull out a lot of moisture.
You're dead, dude.
No, they don't sit. They
Wow.
don't sit directly on the vegetables. I have like a grate that sits below them, and then
This
Oh.
explains
Goes on
so
top.
much.
It does. It does.
What?
You
I'm
don't
not
really
eating
do
it.
this. You're
Oh.
trolling, right?
Yogurt with ketchup.
No.
If you put it in the silicone pouch for a week, you know,
No,
it
you
tastes
don't.
great.
I'm not saying I put them on vegetables.
Okay.
It literally just sits at, like in a grate below everything. That's
It's
it.
in the fridge already.
Wouldn't they just sell the fridge with that shit if
Yes.
it works?
Yes, they do,
They don't.
but it's easier.
They don't.
Well, they have it where it
There
dehumidifies
is
like
really
that
nice
little
green
compartment, but
bags
I don't
you
have
get.
$3,000 for a refrigerator that does that on
How
its own.
far away from? I have an expensive ass fridge, and it doesn't do that.
Yeah, same.
It does not.
Who are
I
we
mean-
playing D&D with?
I
fridge.
I think a maniac puts the silica
Yeah.
packets in his refrigerator. But don't you also say shit like, don't put strawberry sauce on your whatever you say. Like, don't put barbecue
Steak.
sauce on your mangoes. Like you say
I mean,
dumb shit like that all the time.
You
That
can.
sounds fire.
You
No,
can.
no,
They just you
Mustard
just
on
grill
watermelon
it
is
first.
actually not bad.
no.
Mustard on watermelon is
I like
I
to
know
put
it sounds terrible.
salt on it.
It sounds terrible, but it's not bad.
I don't like mustard
It's
or
just like-
watermelon.
it's just like putting salt on it. It's just like
It-
salt.
I like
I'd like to
mustard and I
swim
like
in a
watermelon,
pool.
but
I don't.
not together.
That's
Try
like
it.
the
You'd be
concept of
surprised.
fruitcake.
You'd be surprised.
I don't eat
Fruit-
I was
fruitcake.
surprised.
Cake, great.
It sounds
Put them together,
disgusting,
worst
but
thing
it's not
ever.
bad.
No, that doesn't sound good.
Fruitcake is disgusting.
Hard agree.
Yeah. I went into a Marshalls. They try
Fruitcake
to
is disgusting.
It
they
is.
try to low key change the name so people would buy it to specialty cake. And I walked up to it. I was like, "Oh, this looks cool." And I was like, "Wait a minute, you're not that funfetti
Not
cake.
all
You're
fruitcake is created equal.
Your
There's a lot
fruitcake-
of bad fruitcake.
I
out
love
there.
funfetti.
There's some good.
I was like, you
fruitcake.
rebranded.
That
You
shit's
can't
fire.
get like cheap store fruitcake. That's always going to be bad.
That's like Internet
somebody who can
Explorer
make it.
switching to Microsoft Edge. I was like, you can change your name all you want. You still the shittiest fucking.
I don't like any fruit baked into anything. I will eat
Oh,
around
but
it.
apple pie.
Cherry cobbler.
I will take all of the sauce and the crust and
Yeah.
the crumbs on top and leave all the apples in that bitch and mix it with ice cream.
Okay.
Hate the
No,
apples.
I mean, I'm not mad at that, but like I'm
No.
still a big
Who
fan.
are
of,
we
like,
playing D&D with?
cherry cobbler.
We're not
Legends.
playing D&D.
I was gonna say we're not.
We're getting there.
No, that's
We're
true.
getting there.
That's
We're getting
true.
there.
We're talking
Are
about
we-
drones and shit.
Normally,
Like
like
just learning so
people
much. about
people
it.
typically show up like 15 to 20 minutes early, and we get that conversation out, and we kind of didn't get that this time. So I mean, it happens,
Look,
right?
I joined this conversation when you guys were talking about people's skin
Nipple
used
belts.
Yeah.
as-
Yes.
clothing. So
The
If any
fact
of you
that-
die, Rye
I
might
feel
make
like that's-
leather out of you.
I'm just
I
like, what?
feel like that's the totally normal pre-D&D conversation, okay?
What?
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Yep.
sure. Speaking of nipple belts and things like that, why don't we actually talk about what happened last time?
But what does that have to do with this?
I know it's a segue. This is where we move on to the
That's
next
not
topic.
A segue
Maggie,
implies
stop
that
it.
there is a way
Stop it,
in
Maggie.
which both of those
Okay,
things
Maggie,
work.
we don't know that there weren't nipple belts.
We're gonna
around.
skin the bear.
Guess what?
We
We're
don't
gonna skin
know.
the bear.
First prison cell you go into, a whole fucking box of nipple belts.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Everyone gets their own.
We
no.
didn't need this. We didn't
Whip me
need
with them.
They were.
Rye wears one. Rye
Oh my
takes a
God.
bite of the delicious jerky.
They were processed when the nips were hard, so they're slightly pointed.
Good lord.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
blueberry.
keep
Do you not
me
eat
laughing,
blueberry
it's
muffins?
breaking my phlegm up.
Do you not eat blueberry
Uh-oh.
muffins, Cobalt?
I
Where's
mean,
Hap?
I
Do
prefer
you
not
pick
to.
to.
all the
Some
blueberries
jerky.
out of the blueberry muffin?
I
No,
dude.
spit the
I-
blueberry chunk out.
muffin.
I
No.
used to-
What?
When I was
be like,
little, I did that.
If
Sorry,
it's
Hannah.
big,
No.
sometimes the blueberries are just like little, like they
Nipples?
almost look just like coloring inside of
Yeah,
it.
no,
It's
that's-
not like a
It's like
thick
a
blueberry.
it's like a thick like
Done it.
blueberry powder.
It's like
Like
yeah, it's almost like a
dead-skin
stain
nipples.
in the cupcake or the
No.
the
Yeah.
thing.
no, sometimes it
Guys,
is.
But
No,
Are
it's
you
not.
eating
telling
like
you,
really cheap blueberry muffins?
Probably.
I don't
Yeah,
eat
I was
muffins. I don't.
Okay.
You never just
I'm
got,
really
like, a
I
poppy
like
seed muffin
cheesecake.
and just bit
Yeah,
into
but
it.
How is it powder?
Muffins are
I'll
like
eat-
socially
cheese is a
acceptable
fruit.
breakfast cake.
Yeah,
I will
exactly.
eat strawberry
So-
shortcake with like strawberries on it.
I kind of want to see like a
Yeah.
meal plan as
Ronald,
as
that's not
devised
the time to do that.
by Cobalt.
Wendy's, Subway, McDonald's,
Ugh.
Taco Bell,
Not the time. Ronald. Not the
pizza,
Starbucks.
Fucking love strawberry
Starbucks.
shortcake.
Like every other day, I get Starbucks. It's
My
a
God,
problem.
I get it every day, so I'm right there with you in that support group. And every day, my daughter
Unfortunately-
gets a freaking cookie, and I get mad about it because I can't.
I only
eat
know
live in
this
Australia,
because I
so I don't
on
get all
Thursdays,
that.
Cobalt always is like, he's like, my Starbucks isn't here.
I agree.
He's like, he's losing his
I'm
mind.
like, God damn it, Michelle, hurry up! We're starting in 5
He's
minutes.
like yelling at his phone. Whoever the delivery person is.
Wait, are you getting Uber Eats? I'm not judging. I'm just asking. Are you getting Uber Eats delivery Starbucks?
On Thursday, I get paid to play D&D, so they
Mad-
pay for my coffee.
Mad respect.
Damn.
That's fair.
That's
Like,
a
I get paid for more than the coffee, but
That
that's
must-
baller
my
move.
That
That's-
must hurt the person
yeah,
rationalization.
sure,
to
it's
pick
rational-
it up too.
rationalization. I get that.
Yeah.
That's gotta
Like-
be so painful for that person to pick it up. They're like, I'm just giving this to somebody.
I've
I'm not
done
even
it.
giving
I don't just get one thing. Because I feel bad if I was just like one coffee. So I'm like, I get a coffee for Lisa. I get a piece of pumpkin bread
There-
for my kid. Like I get a
Cobalt.
breakfast sandwich.
Their grilled cheese sandwiches are actually really good.
I
Highly
tried it.
recommend.
It's not bad.
I always
Yeah.
get the double smoked bacon with
That's
a latte of some sort.
that's what I eat.
The egg bites are pretty fire too.
You.
Yeah,
I don't
eggs
know.
give me a mad heartburn.
I love
Oh.
eggs, but I don't like their egg bites. There's something
They're-
weird about them.
They're greasy. I learned how to make them
Yeah.
in the instant pot, and they're much better.
I mean,
Don't
they're
you-
all
you can
it's
use a
all
Hi.
microwave
microwave.
machine
Hi.
to make them too.
I'm
Right?
I've muted
hungry.
myself so that they can't hear me.
I'm also hungry.
promise.
I ate like a
Some
little
jet
chocolate
in
We
the
will get to
water.
D&D.
Tied
I
me over,
promise.
but I'm still.
It may take a
sorry.
moment.
I ate 12
promise we'll
inches
get there.
today and I'm still hungry.
12 inches of what?
Me
TMI.
too.
Jimmy John's, which is like the worst place to
Lucky?
get food from, but it was delicious. I mean, I know the
I had a
owner's a
sandwich
piece of
today,
shit,
too.
but
A small one though.
There was undead in the water.
There was a
There-
big
there
like
was.
rat.
We
There
made
was.
it into
Are we
Harrowstone.
We
recapping?
didn't
Yes. I'm
We're
redirecting
there.
make it that far.
Holy
The
shit.
the rat is
Wasn't
what
Eli
set me off,
burning
guys.
first? Can we, talk
went
about
through
Eli
a cursed.
burning?
Okay, we went. Okay, yeah, we could start. there,
That's how
fine.
it started. The beginning was Eli burning.
I didn't pass like a single roll last time.
Yeah,
That
there was
caused
a
all the
cursed
trouble.
gate. There was a
How does
cursed
it
gate
feel,
that
guys?
Rye walked through pretty unscathed because of pure
He's evil.
manliness. And Eli had, of course, problems with it as always.
'Cause
And
he's not evil.
And then Perrin gave us a hug, and we.
I
felt
feel like
better.
since the cuddle session with Temerity that you've been against me, Maggie, and I don't
I
appreciate
don't know what you're
this.
talking about.
Mums, does that mean anything to you anymore?
Does it mean
No.
anything to you?
Yeah.
Uh,
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's the other side of that question.
Oh
Is
my
your
God.
internet gonna cut out anytime here, Ronald?
It could. But you know what? I wouldn't change providers. Why? Because I'm loyal.
Well.
Wow.
To Comcast?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, to
What a way to flip that shit around.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
worked in cable
but
television.
What
for
are you
20
loyal
years.
to? Are
First
you
off, it's
bragging
not-
that you're loyal to an ISP? Because that's
It's not.
a very
It's not
big brag.
Comcast because
a weird
Comcast
flex.
SSDs. We all know this.
So what is it, Spectrum?
Yeah.
I worked there. They give zero shits about you.
Yeah,
I
Ronald,
know.
this is a weird flex, my
15
friend.
years I worked there.
I know.
They gave
Because
no
I've been
shits.
calling them for the past 6 days,
So sue
trying
me.
to figure out
Yo,
why I'm
I'm
having
loyal
latency
to
spikes.
Spectrum. All right, you don't even know. I run deep. ride or die.
For just $24.99 a month, you too can have high-speed cable internet.
Wait, hold on. No, can I get
All
sponsored
colors
by
of the
Spectrum?
rainbow. It's the
sponsored,
whole spectrum.
Right? Because if I can get sponsored by Spectrum, I will change that tune.
So we went through the curse gate, and
Oh my
then
God.
some of us got cursed and some of us didn't. And then there was a house near
house
the prison. We
where the
went in and
warden
we
lived.
investigated.
Well,
we
Tripp
found
also was like there was some weird stuff with Tripp where like the ghosts were trying to like touch us and stuff, and he's like a beacon of a little Pevrin beacon of light.
I made a
which is kinda
consent
cool.
circle, and they didn't have
Yeah.
it, so there was like no touching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't give
yeah.
them consent either, but I don't think they care. They want to touch this.
we used Ronald as like a protective shield around us.
As a repellent from people. Like
I
actually,
would like to pee
do
on
in
the
real
ghost
life.
before we leave.
Okay.
Bro, if they
Just
grab
saying.
if they grab your junk, they're gonna give you burning hands on that, and I don't know if you want that.
I
for the
would
rest of your
not
life.
like to pee on them
And
anymore.
then we went into the home of Visoriana and the warden.
And I
Yep.
took their photo from inside of the frame and I rolled it up and put it in my pocket to save
In your
for later.
Okay.
Yep, in my back
Oh,
pocket.
didn't we also found a severed head underneath
Silver
the couch,
war
right?
We also found the silver war razor
Yes.
Oh, that's right. And
behind the bed.
and there was something etched into the wall.
Nyx was here.
Yes. And it looked
Yeah.
fresh, didn't it?
It did. It did look fresh. Like not like it had happened within the last day or so, but definitely you could see that there were some like
Couple of
leftover
weeks or months or something.
leftover like shavings from the wall where it had been etched out with that very same war razor.
I wonder why none of the townspeople mentioned other people going to Harrowstone and not coming back.
Probably because they turned into nipple belts. That's why.
with blueberries.
Yeah.
I can't eat them then.
What else did you
Nyx,
find?
in case anybody
there?
didn't know, Nyx was a character from the last campaign.
Correct.
The last
Yes.
campaign as well.
Then we found the wolf head, which is what Rye was talking
Yeah.
about.
And it smelled terrible. Like blueberry muffins.
Blueberry muffins smell amazing. You take that
Cobalt,
back.
just stop, okay?
Okay, it smelled
You've gone
like
too
poop.
far. You've gone too far with the blueberry muffin talk, all right?
It's time to stop.
You're starting to hurt me personally.
Banana
okay?
nut for the win.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I respect that opinion. Just don't attack blueberry muffins. Okay?
We're gonna have a
Blueberry
problem in
muffins
game.
alone.
They're not the
Oh yeah,
worst fruit.
after the show, I'm making some blueberry muffins.
Yeah, I'm.
As long as they're not
a lot
apple
of them.
muffins.
I'm probably down to do that too.
Hey, babe, can you make me some apple cobbler? Because I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, or an apple fritter.
Is there such thing as a blueberry muffin social? Because
There-
if
There
there
is
is,
There is
now.
now.
Let's
we
go.
just
I'm
created
going.
it.
Cobalt's our special
Hey.
guest.
Bet
Well, you
he-
can bring banana nut if you'd like.
Cobalt said
You'll
he'd
just
come down
be
for the
different from
marathon.
us.
Ooh.
So then,
What about
Yeah.
like banana
I
cream
lied,
pie?
though.
How do you feel about banana cream pie?
Those are the great. That's the
lied,
greatest.
though. I
That's life right there.
lied.
I once
Please,
entered a pie eating contest for that and didn't even. I just took my time with it. Everyone's like, "You're supposed to rush." I was like, "You don't rush banana cream pie. You don't do that. That's a sin."
You don't rush a wolf head in distress under the bed, the couch either.
I mean,
you know, you gotta
they did though.
let it marinate a little while.
You guys discovered a couple of things in that place, like more than just the immediate, like, ooh, I found this thing. There were some nuanced
Ooh,
events
piece
that
of candy.
occurred, right? What?
Well, not just that. This was the warden's location.
Yes, this is the warden's house. This is
It's
where he stayed.
Vessariana and the warden's house.
Correct.
And it was
And
unstable.
some things that helped me go away, leave here. But we didn't listen because
It was just the ghost. I think they wanted us to leave Harrowstone.
yeah, we're just like,
We're
eh.
so tired of ghosts.
Thanks for
right
the
now.
warning, bro. But
We definitely should have kited the skeletons back to the house and then jumped
We
out the
should
window
never
and
have
caved it in.
had skeletons in the first place.
What a
Well,
good
maybe
idea.
if rats weren't skittering across the water and getting
Maybe
eaten, I
if
wouldn't
you
have to
didn't go
fish
fishing for
evil
rats
from.
in the first
Oh,
place.
we-
There's
forgot-
evil in there that needs smiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Listen. Bub asked for a perception check. I rolled a perfect 20, and I'm not gonna walk away with a crit perception and not go see what that hunk of flesh is by the water.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
give me
Rye
mercy.
never gets 20s. So he has to do something with them when they happen. All
We're
right.
supposed to get
It's a
rewarded
rare
for
opportunity.
20s.
I'm
We didn't
sorry.
get rewarded. We got I got hit for 10 damage.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We get attacked. And you know, that's the thing. Rye gets his like first 20 ever, which isn't true, but pretty close. And we are all punished for it. We're all punished for it.
Oh, well, I didn't see punishment. I see opportunity at gaining more knowledge.
I saw XP.
I
Yeah,
got
saw
ass
possible
blasted
loot.
into the lake,
I don't think
and
any
then-
undead is gonna have any loot for us.
and then Rye with his Bruce Willis easy flow elbow chucked a grappling hook into my shoulder, and then Rye was like, you know what seems to be good with this skeleton child combination.
Blueberries?
He's like a rye
Yes.
sandwich, and then just jumps on me.
He
With
did.
apple pie.
I saved you.
He did.
Yeah, yep.
I
He
saved
did.
you.
I
Oh, you
gave
know-
Eli some grappling hooks.
Yeah,
Yeah, grapple hook murderer. The hell, man.
I'm just
Are you
every
talking
time
about
we get
me?
one.
No,
it
this
I
was
will-
Tripp.
I war razored one of them.
Yep.
I'm not fishing for
Decapitated.
children anymore with my grappling hooks because they're just gonna cut the rope.
That is
Ridiculous.
Not a sentence.
10 years in game, you're just gonna get like a grappling hook head put into your bed as
Yeah,
you wake up.
Okay.
just a bloody
I'll
grappling
cuddle
hook
that
head.
shit.
What the fuck?
You're gonna tell your grandchildren. They're gonna be like, "What's this? What's this, Granddad? Oh, that's my old grappling hook. Saved a
That's
lot
old
of
Grappy.
children
Old
with that
Grappy.
one.
Oh, Scrappy.
Once caught a dead carcass, wolf
I-
carcass.
I caught a dwarf
I saved
in the
a
river
dwarf.
too.
I saved a
That's
dwarf
right.
with that hook,
Well,
and
I'm
I went
not
on
even
to
good
save
with it.
57 more souls with that
I-
grappling hook.
I
That's
healed the
predetermined.
Inquisitor with this thing. She was bleeding out, and I used it as a sewing needle.
Then the grappling
Can
hook
you
starts
imagine
talking
using a
because at some
grappling hook
point
as
it
a
gains.
sewing needle?
Impossible.
What the
Weirder things
fuck?
have happened. Weirder things.
Yeah, can grappling hooks gain sentience? And
No.
Bub, why won't you do
It's-
that?
I mean,
might be possible.
sure. I mean, it's definitely feasible. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Is it going to be found here? Not likely. Not like I would say it's like a 999% chance that it's not going to be found here.
You
So
spell-
you're saying
Wild
it's
magic.
not possible.
Some say there's a
Wild
chance.
magic.
Chat.
You guys, wild magic. You can make it happen.
Yeah, let's do this.
There's got to be some sentience.
Let's make the
on there.
grappling hook
I
Or-
intelligent.
Pecker
Give it
could be
life.
sentient.
Why? Like when you said that, I just feel like when you're like wild magic, wild. It's like I'm looking at wild. I'm like, that's the wild late night show. It's wild magic, right?
Wild magic.
I would
Wild
want
magic. Wild
I would want
magic.
a grappling hook to gain sentience just so I could kill him with a war razor a second time.
Wow.
Just so it knew why it was existing. Just be like, this is
Wow.
what you were made for. And
Mm. It's enchanted to always reconnect.
I'm gonna find your remains and
always
I'm gonna
be-
pee on them.
The exact length that you need it to be.
Oh my
I
god.
said I was gonna give you a hero's burial, but you done fucked up, kid.
You disturb Grappy. That's what you get. There was
Yeah,
one
I
other
know-
thing,
Grap.
at least one other thing that I can recall, information-wise, that was uncovered in the Harrowstone Manor.
That's all I got in my notes. I don't know.
Like the manor itself. I know that there's something in the water that we saw. Like,
There's a bear and rat. And then the skeletons came up and grabbed them.
I can't remember honestly.
There was a document that was found. It was found by Maggie, and it was found by Ronald. It was tucked under the wolf's head.
Document is he talking about?
There were tools.
what was it? The map?
A map? No, there was no map.
No.
This isn't Dora.
It's true.
This isn't Dora.
Don't yell at me. I'm under pressure right now.
I'm the map.
I'm the map.
I'm the
Yeah, I
map.
vaguely remember this.
What are you guys talking about?
Hell. We're talking about hell.
I know we found one, but yeah, I don't remember what the
I
content.
You found a blueprint.
I don't remember this.
You don't. Does nobody remember this?
Okay,
I
I remember.
remember
blacked
okay,
out or
but my
something.
character
Cannot
wasn't
find it.
involved, so
I wrote down all these notes
Yeah,
and
it
I
was
have
a
nothing
blueprint.
about
It was a
blueprints.
blueprint of. It was a blueprint of Harrowstone, wasn't it?
No.
Of the actual prison.
Negative. It is not.
Good
No.
try though.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I
that's,
think it was a scroll of wish.
no.
I
wow.
remember that.
You are. This it's getting so
I
much
remember
further away.
it was a scroll of wish. Yeah,
Does
and
chat-
that, we need to use
Do you
that
guys remember?
right now.
Does anybody
of the-
remember?
It was,
Was
a
it of the
scroll
manor
of
specifically?
moderate.
No.
Chat, it was a scroll of
But,
wish. I'm
yeah,
pretty
I don't
sure.
remember.
Chat, please.
Legit, I
confirm.
don't.
Please confirm it was the scroll of wish.
How do none of us remember this? Are you sure you gave us
I'm positive.
blueprints?
I'm positive that I did. Because as
I-
soon as I tell you what it is, you're gonna be like,
video.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to see the evidence, Your Honor.
That scroll of wish seems legit. No.
See,
No,
per-
Jesus
take a
Christ.
fireball.
Every one of you.
Farm has
Holy
it. He
fuck.
said it was
Okay.
a scroll
No,
that said
Jesus.
each player gets minus 30 HP.
It was a
if we wished for
blueprint
that.
of a cradle.
I don't remember this.
Oh shit! I remember.
Oh, for their kid, their little baby that they were supposed to have.
That's
but didn't
right.
'cause
Oh, yeah,
You're
they're supposed
assuming
to
That
it
was
was
a
a
baby,
baby.
but I don't remember.
You're assuming it was a
blueprint of
baby.
cradle.
It could have been a
I've
puppy.
We heard
seen,
a baby
I've
crying,
seen Dawn
too.
of the Dead. I know what happens.
That Soriana was with child.
Yeah.
Undead children.
Thanks, Cobalt.
Yep.
Uterus undead abominations.
And I didn't give her
If
the
Hap
child.
exists, anything can exist. All right, and he's been around a while.
Oh my
Ghost
God.
fetus.
How do you guys like? How do I
Ghost
enjoy
fetus.
your time even more? But somehow you stress me out when it comes to this
Tripp,
shit.
you're the baby.
Oh no!
Yes, you will be reborn.
Oh
into-
my gosh.
That's the whole plot. I figured it out. Tripp's gonna be reborn into that baby, and then me and Temerity and
Babe, that
Rawhide will
baby's
raise
gone.
the baby.
I would.
Torvin's going home.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. I would.
Torvin, you don't even have real blood. All right.
Wow, dude. Ooh, that's
This is gonna
sad.
be like some weird undead baby, though.
Yeah.
I don't think
You don't
we
want.
can let it live.
If we treat Torvin like an object, is that wrong?
Yes.
Oh, actually, I have a better question, DM.
Torvin is
If I
Gumby.
get Wyld random item or whatever that is, that 1 feet, where I can just pick up random stuff like a table, like improvised. It's called improvised weapon.
Oh, improvised.
Can
weapon.
I actually use Torvin as my weapon? Like
No.
grab him by the feet and hit him because he's not technically a person.
You
He
cannot.
has concrete blood.
He's technically a person.
He's technically a person.
He's an
He is a
object.
person.
You could
Wow.
theoretically. I'm here to for the
You're
interest of
an
ideas,
object.
but I think theoretically
Yeah, we're
you
all
could take the
objects.
feet, throw anything, and you would take less negatives for throwing someone.
Okay, I like that.
Yes.
I like that. How much damage do chickens do if thrown?
Well,
Hey, don't touch my pecker. Non-consensual
Uh,
pecker touching.
Okay,
think
I've seen
a
Hot
normal
Shots.
chicken
I
would
know
be
how
like-
this goes.
like a
Underwater just disappear.
D2, but when you're looking at an 80-pound chicken, I think it would probably be like a D8. Yeah, we'll go with a D8, and that's hefty, right? That's
Awesome.
fairly hefty. But I mean, you'll
Respecting.
figure it out. By Torvin, it was
He literally
lovely.
just like zoomed off.
Yeah, he
screen.
just panned off real fast.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Oh,
I posted something.
oh no!
Well
Damn
played.
it!
Yes.
We haven't even started
Yes.
playing, and my fucking jaw's
Oh my
already hurt.
goodness.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
that's the rye I want. I posted a gif from Hot Shots.
Hot Shots.
Oh, the egg.
Yeah.
I forgot. That's so terrible.
So
Such a fake chicken.
we've discovered and discussed
That's your feedback.
comment.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
everything
It's
from
such a
I love
big
it.
chicken.
from the warden's
As
house.
if Pecker is real and you're
Yes.
offended at the like faux
Wait, he's
chicken in
not?
this
Dude,
gif.
pecker is real to me. Go look up Rama chicken. They're amazing.
Chicken's so fake.
My gun. Oh, good soup.
Pecker.
Yes, we are
How could you
battered
even
and
compare?
bruised.
You are
outside
in
of the
fact battered
gate.
and bruised. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not battered or bruised at
fine.
all. I'm probably bruised from getting kicked in the
I'm
face
Yes.
deaf.
by a horse.
I'm
though.
deaf for an hour, so
Yeah,
have
yes.
fun.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which,
Sorry.
first
Ain't
roll
gonna
of the
hear
game,
no mums.
I need for Tripp to roll a fortitude save.
Oh shit.
Is there any damage to my ears, or am I just simply deaf?
It's like superficial damage. In this case, it was a perforation. So if you like mechanically, it is just deafness for an
Didn't-
hour.
Torvin see some weird
21.
writing in the corner of the wall
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, we
And you,
do.
I don't
you
think
passed your
we've
fortitude
seen what
save.
it is yet though.
But you felt blood run down the side of your face, and you do have deafness. there's not any like lasting damage. The moment that your perforation occurs, it transfers the wind displacement, so it levels back out. You might have some ache, but it's not like, oh God, I've been shot in my ear. It's nothing like that.
I'm gonna bandage up that laceration on the top of my hand.
Ooh,
Thank you so
luck
much,
roll.
Jen. We got our first luck reroll of the game.
Thank you.
Hey.
Ooh, thank you.
Much appreciated, sir. So
Thank you.
you went to the water's edge because Rye had discovered that there was a body, a large body, a
bear.
thing, and it turned out to be a bear.
Yes.
People have some ideas about what this bear might be, but you also thought, you discussed Peverin saying that there were multiple animals found dead at the gates. So who knows, right? I know
Yes.
Ello knows, and most of you guys know outside of a game, but in game, you have no idea. You have no idea what it means, how a bear got in here, so on and so forth, right? But yes, there was writing on the wall. Torvin, do you remember what that was?
I wasn't able to see what it was specifically or understand what it was specifically, but it was a long string of runes. There was
Yes.
a blue glow to them, very soft, but there was a blue back glow to them, and that appeared to go the entire stretch of the wall.
Yeah, they did, in fact, as far as your eyes could see. Was there anything else that you may have encountered?
Only party members trying to heal themselves from memory.
Correct. And I don't think anybody had any luck. We ended our session immediately after combat. So it was last physical blow thrown, and everybody was starting to recoup. So it still remains the same. The rain still continues to pour. We know that Torvin had backed away to the wall, the crenellated wall. Oz is about 5, maybe not quite 10 feet away, but backing in the same direction, while the others seem to recover. We did see that Peverin and Tripp have a sanctuary cast upon them. The moment that they take a hostile action, that falls. But they've decided not to for the moment.
I think it has a time that it lasts too.
Correct, it does. Okay. I'm going to return your rain, because it was lightly raining, and pass this back. I think, for the sake of the narrative, I'll pass this light, the storytelling torch, to Wyld for Torvin. You've witnessed the last skeleton fall. They're starting to recover. They're huffing, holding their wounds, trying to cover up the burns on their bodies. And there you are, with your back to the wall. The rain falling as you have an arrow notched. Oz, not too far. We didn't even discuss the accidental percussive blow from Oz, the wild magic concussive blast that shot Peverin into the water. We just discussed those things that sort of led up to it. I actually went out of my way to record an audio clip of that hyper loogie. It's this. That's what it was. Essentially like Kog'Maw from League of Legends, just hawking up a nasty loogie. But instead of
Leela or Stitch.
sort of,
Like that, yeah.
sort of, yeah, it sort of does. But yeah, that's how this whole debacle went, right? For all you know, none of the additional skeletons would have arisen from their watery grave. But because a body was thrown in, because everything went down to the water's edge, they started returning. And once everybody was back out of the water, those that were still creeping back up started to nettle their way back down and creep into their fallen pile. So Torvin, you see them, huffing and guffawing, attempting to recover. Some burned, some struck. Peverin seems to be nursing his hand, or at least Tripp is holding his bleeding hand.
I'm close to the wall, so I'm looking up. Does it have any sort of cover from the rain?
Not as far as you can tell. It seems to just be a crenellation, so it's like castle walls where it kind of goes down, then dips over, up again. So it's like, think like traditional child's castle walls.
Okay. How many are actually soaked to the bone?
Practically everyone is drenched from the rain, but I would say that those that are the most wet would be definitely Peverin from being submerged entirely, followed closely by Rye who fell into the water. Well, leapt into the water to try to save him.
I'm quite wet.
And I went into the water.
Prestidigitation to make them not wet.
I have a maybe I have a severe misunderstanding of what prestidigitation does, but I'm pretty sure it is illusion like magic that doesn't actually make someone not moist. I'm gonna look that up because the moment that you focus on something else, it just goes back to being wet.
No, it does minor cleaning.
Prestidigitation. That's a hard word to spell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun word to say, though.
It is.
It can clean and stuff like that.
They are minor tricks that novice spellcasters use for practice. Once cast, it enables you to perform simple magical effects for 1 hour. It is not permanently cleaned. The effects are minor and have severe limitations. They can slowly lift 1 pound of material. It can color, clean, or soil items in a 1-foot cube each round. It can chill, warm, or flavor 1 pound of non-living material. It cannot deal damage, and anything that affects the concentration of the spellcaster drops.
Look, they think they're clean for a little bit.
Rye is never clean.
Ryan. Perfect.
I would start getting a cloth or something to keep the hand healed. I think I did take a hit point of damage, but I don't want to burn a potion for a hit point. So
Sure. Are you attempting to wrap your hand here?
yeah, as best as I can. I would put like a cloth over it first, and then try to tie it down.
Okay. All right. Sure. Give me a heal check here.
Maggie, are you really casting that spell?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can if you wanted me to. I was kind of joking. Because we're in the
more
rain.
of a
I don't
I'll
think
burn
it's
the
really
luck
going to
reroll
help
for
you.
True.
I'll burn the luck reroll.
Oh, okay. All right. First luck reroll already like coming and going here. From a 5 to a 12. Yeah, that looks fine. It's a little difficult, right? You raked across the backside of your left hand, and not having both of your hands do this, it's a little tricky at first. But you're able to slap a knee down on top of one side, wrap it, and then go through the tying process. And it looks fine as far as you can tell. You have no idea what could be in that water, but you just witnessed multiple dead men rise from it.
Yeah.
Pretty gross.
Now, this is a time
Yeah.
when
That's nope water.
Torvin's so worried about.
when germs were not something that was widely recognized. But you know that the water's not clean, and dirty wounds can oftentimes lead to sickness.
Yeah. I mean, potion's not going to heal that. I need
Exactly.
actual like remedy.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Adjusting himself and after suturing his hand, he Tripp looks up to the group. We shouldn't stay over here any longer. I think we should get inside already.
Rye kind of speaks up. What?
We need to get inside. I think all you hear is.
Oz will not.
It's muted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rye just kind of looks around, kind of puts a finger in his ear and wiggles it.
When you pull your hand down, you like when your finger enters the ear canal itself, you feel the warmth. Where everything else is like cold, right? Everything is cold to the touch. You feel the warmth of liquid in your ear, and almost instinctually you remove your hand and you see blood.
Is anybody looking at me?
Yes.
Okay. I start like showing everybody the blood and pointing to my ear, pointing to my mouth.
Oh. Back
Well,
to the
this is-
warden's house.
Very
Well,
well.
how are we going to go back there?
Back to the warden's house.
I look at everybody kind of confused. I'm
You can
just looking
see
at
they're
everyone.
talking, and you're hitting it like this almost muted tone.
I'll just gesture to him like
Yeah.
follow, because I'll go towards the house at this point. I will, however, and I know we discussed it, but it would genuinely be on my character's mind, looking for that sword. Like if I notice it's not in Rye's hand or belt,
Sure.
I would kind of glance around to try to find it because I'm not allowing that thing.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that. Rye, do you? I mean, you understand the basic like the wave, right? Like come this way. Do you follow through?
Yeah. I just follow Temerity. Or I forgot about the sword. So.
Okay. You follow Temerity, and Temerity, do you start leading the pack, or are you waiting for Torvin? How does
Once
this look?
they're all together-ish, I'm going straight to the house.
Okay.
Do I see the sword? Like, is it easy to just see? And like, can I like grab it on the way to the house, or would I have to stop and look for it?
He dropped it just outside, like on the way to the actual prison itself. So it's probably about 15-ish feet outside of the front door. When you see the blade, like you will probably realize like, oh no, it's missing. And then you'll see it almost instantly, right? Like you guys
Okay.
didn't travel that far, maybe 100 feet.
Yeah, he dropped it on the way to dive into the water for
Okay.
Yeah, it should actually
Pepperoni.
be. It should actually be closer. Like I don't know how to do a ping, but
You just hold.
You just hold left click.
Yeah.
Left click hold.
oh, okay, it should like be around here actually.
Hold on, I gotta zoom out. But I'm like,
It'll pull everybody here. I'll do this. Boop. It's right there.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think I can see that, right?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah. Then I would like veer off to go get it, but generally follow Torvin.
Okay.
I would stay around the group or the largest mass of the group, so that way they're not being touched by the ghost.
Sure. Temerity, as you retrieve the blade on your way over, you notice maybe it's just the trick of the way that the rain's sort of falling around the area, but the blade itself almost seems to, I don't want to say vibrate as much as it seems to almost be like shaking. Now, if you can recall, in the last session, you had cast Detect Undead, and it was a maximized spell courtesy of some wild magic. It multiplied the range by 6. So you could see 300 feet worth. But what you're seeing now, what a normal person would see is that the blade almost seems like it's like shaking a little, almost like it's blowing in the wind. But for you, you see spirits that are sort of crowded around this, trying to like leave and deviate from this. But every time they touch it, it shakes the blade, it like twists it, and their body it like scorches and begins to burn.
So they want to stay away from the sword too.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll pick it up and kind of test that out.
They lean away from it, almost like, you know, you're showing like fire to living people. They're like, oh,
Okay.
waving back and forth.
Okay. I'll rejoin them. Like get near where Tripp is and them and say this the sword seems to do the same thing that the boy does. And I'll just kind of wave it around like.
It's interesting that you say that. As you're returning, they're probably huddled about 20 or so feet away. You realize that the spirits are much closer to them now than they were before. And it's only as you near with the sword that the berth that they provide is actually wider.
Okay.
Rye reaches out for the sword from Temerity. He thinks that she's fetching it for him.
I'll hand it to him for
Sure.
now.
Sure.
I mean, there's no harm if as long as he's close enough. I would, I'll get it from him later.
Okay, I'm wielding it once again.
So then everybody has decided at this point to retreat to the walls of Harrowstone Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I nod at her, by the way, kind of like a thank you.
All right, then drag your characters. Everyone go ahead and pull yourselves back to the mouth of the manor. I don't know how this is going to look, but we're going to go ahead and shift back to this while you guys have conversation and heal and take a moment if you need to.
My biggest concern is we've got two people who are literally half combat ready armor and half water that you're logging around with you. Let alone the disease and mud and muck, and now actual damage and deafness. So if we're going to be here for an hour, I think they know we're here. If we can't magically clean everything, we might just need to get a fire and, well, dry these clothes as quickly as we can, this armor.
Sure.
I think that's a good idea.
Well, guys, back to Kendra's. That was a good first attempt. We're gonna need to go ahead and rest, regroup, Heal up, and we'll hit it again.
Are you saying that, but like super loud?
no.
As we get inside, I'll ask. I'll go to Torvin. If it's a fire that you're concerned about, we can break the floorboards right here. It looks like there's a hole underneath the house a little bit, or at least a bit of a space.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Torvin, you would you say that you're carrying a demeanor of frustration with you at this point?
If people roll a perception, they could actually see that I'm almost biting my lower lip off.
It's not something that they necessarily have to roll. I think it's a matter of one of those things where like they can see it, but they're not really sure how bad the situation is. I think everybody can tell that the tensions are a little high. You're all just a little stressed out. Some of you are probably worse for wear, courtesy of either ghosts or skeletons or even a horse at this point. But what you can see is that Torvin finally carries a strong emotion with him. It's more so than just bygones be bygones. Let's move forward. We can get past this. His brow is furrowed, almost making him have these like almost caveman-esque features, right? The brow is very like heavy. His bottom lip has almost disappeared, and he's almost more quiet than normal.
Master Torvin, is everything okay? You seem troubled.
Well, we were meant to go into the prison. And then everybody decided we'd go somewhere else and try to die. Which is not helpful to going into the prison.
You're correct.
Do we have enough wood?
Looking around, there's not a lot of like spare tinder or anything like that, but there is enough furniture. There's plenty of planks on the floor that can be stripped up. The hearth seems to be in workable condition as far as you can tell. The wind will catch the eaves and the awning and sort of like rattle the roof up multiple times. You know the structure's not incredibly safe.
Well, any old floorboards and broken furniture, I guess, would suffice for now, but
Take the floorboards who are in front of the entrance first. If something comes in before us, they'll have to fall through that first.
very well. And my apologies for the inconvenience.
I need you to go next to the fire and keep everyone warm.
I'll do that.
Aye?
Gives him a nod, and he goes to grab the floorboards, or he starts like trying to pluck them out of the front part of the door, and then he starts slowly putting them into the fireplace.
Sure. So I'm going to paint a picture here so everybody is aware of this. You've all made your way into the Harrowstone Manor, the home of the previous warden. As I said, tensions were a little high, and you can see you can see specifically, it looks as if Peverin sort of precariously moving to have a conversation with Torvin. Torvin is, you can tell when someone's got an attitude, when they're shitty, right? This is not the first time you've seen someone piss off. And he is wearing the facade, right? Now what's weirder is that they're talking, but it almost seems like they're talking under breath. Like they're going out of their way to hide the information that they're discussing. And Torvin's eyes keep kind of training around the room, looking at things. And you're not really sure what's going on. You can see that Peverin does look, I wouldn't say like he's in trouble as much as he feels like he's being scolded, but I want to know how Rye might perceive this. The conversation's not loud enough for you to understand, and
yeah, Rye doesn't even know what's going on. Like he a surly dwarf, like, you know, a wise elf, you know, like it.
I'm asking, would Rye perceive this as them hiding information from him?
No,
Okay.
no. Rye actually is more interested in finding Eli and showing him his wounds and kind of seeing if Eli would maybe cast a spell on him and heal him up a little bit.
What is
He's
Eli
not-
doing?
He's more like right now, Rye is just caring about him right now. He's not really worried about anyone else.
What does this look like from Eli's perspective? Is he you know, I imagine you're not feeling great. You have recently been burned and scratched at, and, well, you lost Scrappy 1.0.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I didn't get to inspect the rope yet to see what exactly caused it to snap. Which I guess I could do that now. I could look at it.
Sure.
And if it looks like it's been cut, then I would be like, it's the damnedest thing. I thought I had a good hold on you, Pevrin. But when I went to pull, must have caught on something sharp.
Peverin's still like moving around, like trying to fetch floorboards. He's got 2 of them that he's pried up at this point, and he says that to you, Tripp.
Kind of like in a hurried manner, he's like, yes, that's because I cut it away. And then he kind of just like turns around really fast and like keeps walking.
He seems to dismiss your immediate concern of the rope and the grappling hook. Continues prying up multiple boards.
It's a fine grappling hook you ruined, but at least Oz had a replacement.
I'm sorry for your tools. I didn't mean to.
It's fine. At least we defeated those skeletons, and they won't be bothering anyone anymore.
The skeletons aren't the issue, Master Eli.
Well, not anymore. They're not.
Is Rye watching this like happen in front of him?
Anyway,
I imagine so, yeah.
I think I should take a look at Rye, see what's going on here. Should I do like a roll like a heel to check his ears out?
I mean, yeah, you can.
Well, just to like ascertain, like, is it
give me
permanent
a
damage
perception,
or...
right? First, I'd like to see that perception. And then I've got to ask Rye, like, how often do you clean your ears?
You know, despite what you might think, Rye is actually sort of hygienic. I
Okay.
mean, out of the group,
He did take a bath.
yeah, out of the
he did.
group,
True.
I think he's the only one who's actually taken time to like bathe himself and clean himself.
Sure.
I have soap.
when you
okay?
when you
That river
glance.
doesn't count.
I would say that it's
Okay.
it's you know, it's a little rough, you know,
pressed
some
the
hairy
digitation
earlobes
myself.
kind of stuff, you know, but it's not as bad as you'd think.
When you glance in the ear, it's the situation looks a little concerning because there is what looks to be like a pocket of blood, like it started to coagulate and scab up, and it's basically soaked the entire ear canal. You can tell he's taken some damage, and it looks internal, but you're not sure from what.
I'm not sure that it was the giant screech from Oz.
Well, you also know that he was directly in combat, and like percussive damage internal is not something that I would think many of you are well informed with. Maybe if you were like an alchemist, or that's even a stretch at some points.
I'll just look at Rye and since he can't hear me, I don't know, buddy. It could be permanent. It could be in a couple hours. If you can read lips. I'll be like, I don't know. I'll if there's like some dust, I'll do like either an infinity sign on the wall,
I
or
start like pointing at like my burns, like where the skeleton hit.
Sure.
me.
I mean, I've got those as well. I can heal us.
I'm looking at
but
you like very confused.
I can heal us. I just don't know if that's going to be the best use of my abilities.
Perhaps I could take a look at your wounds.
I can bandage us up.
You say that, Torvin, and there is no response. His back's to you at this point, and you realize that, like, with as loud as he's talking, something is wrong.
He
with
can't
his
hear
perceptions.
Torvin. There's blood in his ears.
Rye goes into his bag and he takes out one of his healing potions and like
Did
is,
he
like,
actually bring your
shrugging.
apple?
Like I'm
He
like
made
he's like
the
he
apple
pulls it out. He's
cover.
like, oh, what do you want me to do? You want me to chug this? You want to heal me? I'm
That's
like kind of
awesome.
like
That is amazing.
I have the best husband. Go on. Sorry.
What is that?
Apple cobbler.
Apple cobbler.
Made me apple cobbler when I was like, hey, if you're listening, make me apple cobbler. Could you, like, just as a joke?
And are you guys polygamous? May I join?
Slide into my DMs. We can discuss
Polyandry. It's all
whatever the
rage now.
poly. We will make you food, and you can play our video
Poly
games.
food.
Sounds good.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Poly
just
foodies.
really in it for the cobbler, really. So
You knew what this was. It was only about the cobbler.
yeah.
Oz is just thinking the
Okay.
last time he tried to help someone with their wound, something went wrong with their eyeball, so maybe not.
Maybe
good
not with their
idea.
ears.
Yeah, let the healers do the healing.
You can now hear the spirits of the dead.
Look, you told me to pull it out.
Hell yeah. There's a glass sticking out of my eye.
What are you guys doing when Rye like shows you the potion? Like, he's like, should I drink it?
How
or
much?
whatever?
Well, how much out of character? How much damage have you taken?
I took 10 HP damage.
Yeah.
I'm down to
I'm
small
right there
amount.
with you.
I'm from 28 to 18.
I took 1 hit point.
I'd take a minor one at the moment. Save a bigger
I
one
would,
for later, but nonetheless.
Are you like pointing at the potion? Like, how are you showing this to Rye? Because he's like going to you for a heal and you're not healing him, so he assumes there's some reason. So he's like, showing you the potion. Like, should I drink a potion?
think
How long
Torvin
are we
wanted
gonna
to look
stay
at it.
here? Do we have time to rest, or
Torvin,
I
you
can
could take a
bandage
book.
the wounds?
Hey, can I do a heal roll and have a look
course.
at what I can assess is actually going on?
Of course you can. Just tell me what you'd like to look at first, and then let's see your heal.
Well, I'm looking for head
Okay, sure.
because apparently there's blood.
You're aware that he's taken some trauma inside the ear. I mean, without having a vast understanding of the anatomy of the the internal structure of an ear, you think that he may have something may have stabbed him, and that's honestly not too far off. He was just stabbed with sound.
I'm gonna chug a green healing potion.
Sure. Is this a
So-
cure light?
It just says green healing. That's what I wrote it down as.
I'm guessing that it's a cure light potion. That's going to be a D8 plus 1.
I believe it is. Yeah, because I have cure moderate.
Okay.
Yeah, the moderate is separate to the grade. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm down 1, and then you said it's a D8.
Yeah, D8 plus 1. Bear in mind, guys, remember, I am more than prepared to reward creativity, right? It's not uncommon. The last time we ran this, a character, an NPC, he broke his orbital bone, and between Cypress, which was Ello, and Tashnar, they used multiple forms of magic to slowly, pull the crushed orbital bone back into place to mend it. So that's something that you can do. I'm more than prepared to, roll the narrative, just be creative, and try some things. Don't be afraid to ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question.
I take the almost empty container, and I take the last drops of it, and I put it in his ear.
Sure. You manage to do so, and it sort of wipes away some of the blood. You can tell that in order for something like this to work, you would need to flush the ear. And as you do so, and it kind of turns, you still see some of the blood start to move out of a pool and roll freshly out of his ear. So you're certain that he's taken some sort of internal damage.
So I was at 28 max.
He is
but
still
I was-
bleeding.
I was at 18 health, so now I'm up to 26 out of 28.
Sure, sounds
Just
good.
letting you know. I kind of shrug at him. I give him kind of a thumbs up, like, hey, I feel better. I just drank. He has no idea what's going on, so he knows they're looking at his ear, but he's like,
I want you. Sit down.
Rye's just smiling at him.
He points to the ground a few times.
Oz will create a little mirror image of Rye, but he's sitting.
Sure, you do so with I'm guessing some sort of magic, something light, right? Prankster tricks, arcane magic, right? So that might be something you can do.
That'd be funny.
Sure, there's nothing to say otherwise, right? Magic in telling that story. So if you were just visually communicating that with him, I'm not going to stop that. Why not? You have what is it? It's magic. It's hand. What is the word?
Mage hand.
You have mage hand, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that says anywhere that you can't structure that to look like something else. It may look like a crude version of him, but it could just be a hand that looks like a man sitting.
I get the. I assume I get it.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
After enough instruction, them pointing down, right?
Let me see. Okay, yeah, he gets it. He
You
gets
gather.
what's going on. He
You
sits
gather.
down, he sits down.
Even if it takes like Peverin, like, look at me, and he walks over and sits down. Now
Pecker's
you.
already like learned how to sit
Hey, I'm
faster
sitting. I'm
than
sitting.
Rye.
I'm down.
You got it. You got it. So he takes a seat. Now that he's sitting, what was somebody wanting to do? Something, or were you just happy to have him sitting down?
I'm just
I'm
like
just
on the
so
ground,
happy
just
for him
like
to sit down.
Okay, perfect.
So what are we waiting on? Are we gonna go, or are we going? Are we trying to rest?
I mean, if we're time lapsing the hour just to like dry off and stuff, then
Is that what you
I'm
want to
down to
do?
do that.
I have to ask, are you guys waiting the hour so that you can sort of do some minor recovery here?
I
guys
would.
following their lead entirely. So if they
Well, I
want
mean,
to
the
wait,
metagaming
then
is
I'll
we will
wait.
have to wait now. But the thing is that we just got the beginnings of the shit kicked out of us. We had to pull back for a moment. We had 2 people completely drenched. We have to get them at least be able to function.
Yeah.
I guess
One
before
person
then,
is deaf.
yeah, I would probably use that time to see if I can find like old oil or something like that, like old oil lantern possibly.
Sure.
Take piece of leg furniture, wrap a cloth, and makeshift another torch from the one that I chucked. So, yeah, I would hopefully find that, and then as we get ready to leave, I would light it in the fireplace so I have actual
Sure.
light to
That's totally fine. You'll find what looks to be like mostly a broken kerosene lamp, and it looks as if not all of it had either like dried up or it had been burned away. You just caught just enough to kind of like soak the top end of a torch. You know, it's not going to last very long. You have sun rods to your veil, but it's not going to last very long.
That's fine. I would still keep it and make the most of it once we get outside,
Sure.
or I guess once we get into the prison.
Now I've got to ask, Torvin, do you explain any of the things that you'd seen on the wall? Any of that text, the arcane words?
I have not yet. I'm trying to get to it, but
Got it.
Once he's sitting, I actually do want to go and speak to Temerity about the fact that I saw these things around there, and I want to have a moment. So yeah.
Then you find everybody in a position where they're resting. Some of them uncomfortably so. Others seem to be just biding time. The tensions don't necessarily drop for some. But Rye, albeit, seems as comfortable as he can get. Peverin seems to find anything that can occupy his hands. Not sure if that's a side effect of being Peverin, or if that's a side effect of Tripp being nervous. I'm not sure what Oz does. What does this look like from Oz's angle?
Like I said, oh, you weren't here because you walked away. I was saying that Oz was uncomfortable about going near Rye's ear because last time he tried to assist with someone's pain, they ended up losing an eye.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
He's just kind of sitting there, petting his pecker, waiting. Probably creeped out by whatever's going on here. Maybe having a little tummy grumbles.
Sure.
He's
And-
a little hangry.
And before we move to Temerity, what does this look like from Eli's perspective? Is he just sitting on the side, just dreading what's forward, or is it just like angst? How does this look? Explain this to me.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm hurt, but I know I have ways to heal myself. I'm just don't think I'm hurt enough
Got it.
to use that.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm all burnt, but like I'm pretty fired up. I'm pretty impatient.
Yeah.
Because I'm inexperienced.
Yeah, and
Uh,
you're kind of used to fire at the same time. Working consistently the last decade and a half in a forge has tempered you to a degree. You're used to being burned, and you know it's only a matter of time.
Yep, it'll blister, and then the worse the burn, the less the pain.
Yeah.
So if I'm in pain, that's good.
True enough. Then Torvin, you'll find that the others are relaxing, recovering, or waiting, impatiently or patiently so. you find Temerity. Doing what exactly?
She had a peach in her backpack. So she's just kind of munching on a peach.
Got it.
Might look like a cobbler, but it's a peach.
Oh god, those goddamn peaches. There. I thought I could smell it. Look, around the wall, there's seems to be a magic. Did you see the writing? There's like a rune, and it went along the wall. It looked. I don't know.
Can you draw it? Oz will like offer some ink.
Yeah, like in here or out there?
Parchment.
It's not. It's rune work, but it's not a rune. I know.
But where was it? Was it on a wall inside the house, or do you mean around Harrowstone?
No, on Harrowstone, on the prison itself, on the walls.
I'll like lean over and like peek a window. Like, where can we see it from here? Like on the end, like on the side of the house.
Just over there, where everybody almost died. Just a wee bit
fair.
to the left of the great like watery death location. That spot, just that.
I'll peach in one hand, like ease back whatever if there's a curtain or anything, and just can I see the runes from here? Can I?
You can't. From where you're looking at the angle you're looking at, one, there's a giant tree sort of blocking that area. Two, there's tall grass that has risen in multiple spots, sort of blocking it. You can tell that something has been scribbled there, but you can't quite make it out, and you're not sure how far around it goes.
So, but you said they weren't runes you recognized?
They were low to the ground. They're quite fine. It seemed to have a, dare I say the word, eldritch glow. Which is, not my area.
Are you able to remember them enough to draw them, or not really?
No, I must confess that I was a little concerned watching all the attempting to kill each other in the water. So, I didn't take too much attention.
Well, I guess whenever we go back out there, we'll have to take a look at them.
Aye.
Yeah, what was that about? There was a piercing scream. So many things were coming out of your mouth I couldn't keep up. What was that acid I saw? That was disgusting.
I wasn't screaming. What? Well, maybe a little, but I was spitting at him, trying to get. Sometimes you gotta hock a loogie at someone.
I would if it was combat effective.
I don't know that. No, actually, I
think it was pretty effective. You see that?
Oh,
skeleton?
yours,
His
yes.
face was all melting.
No, that part was great. The part about deafening, Rye, maybe not so much. But you know what? I'll give you a pass. You got me a brand new grappling hook. It's great condition.
I don't think
Grappling
I
hook.
did that. You think I did that?
Wasn't that from Wild Magic? That wasn't Temerity, right?
Was, but it wasn't from me.
The quaking scream? Yeah, it was from you.
It was from me.
Yeah, when you tried to do your acid splash. Yeah, you were preparing to hawk up a loogie, but instead a quaking scream erupted from your mouth.
Okay.
Sit Pevrin flying.
Okay, well,
to the water.
then Oz is probably being a little quiet because he's also feeling guilty. And Oz will say, well, it wasn't like I did it on purpose. It's that darn magic. And he looks like he's blaming it on that, but there's something else there.
I just want to say that Cora made blueberry muffins tonight, and I had no idea.
We're 2 for 2.
It's fine. I got pizza coming.
Just
so
show,
I don't care what kind of fruit you
Cobalt
have.
really close. Show him that you're eating fruit with cake.
Apples.
Just
I
like
don't know. Can you see? Hold on.
You could put whatever food in your mouth that you want. I'm just not doing it. So,
all right, fair enough.
Then I'm going to ask Eli, since we know up to this point that there have been multiple occasions where we've seen a precarious shyness from Oz, which we know Oz is not a shy individual. Very charismatic, very willing to speak, not afraid whatsoever. But at this point, it doesn't
Sense motive.
It doesn't
Just
take
for
much.
you, Jim's friend, I'm adding, oops, I deafened my party member in my notes. Exactly how you wrote
Give
it.
me a sense motive.
Well, fuck me.
That's not great. You do have a luck roll.
I rolled a nat 1.
Yeah, you do. Well, I mean, like skill checks don't immediately deviate to failing, but a 6 is not going to be
I know,
enough.
but
If you wanted to roll again, you can. You've got a plus 5 is not bad on a sense motive.
I don't give a. I mean, I'd rather roll a swing than an RP sense.
He doesn't
motive.
care about Oz, is what he's saying.
I mean,
Don't say that.
I care more, but I do have your grappling hook. So what worth are you now?
Wow!
Wow.
Oh my lord.
Got everything I needed.
Damn.
JK, but he doesn't like Oz, actually.
It's like an opposite mums. Like you're
I
doing
like
the opposite
Oz.
of friendship right now.
Friendship is not magic, apparently.
It's not always. Not always.
No.
Your secret is safe for now. It appears that Eli didn't choose to investigate further. He didn't pry. Either he doesn't care or he just didn't pick that up.
I was like,
I'm
straightens
polishing
up
my
and
grappling hook
Slowly.
continues petting his pecker.
and all of my armor that's been wetted down. Busy work, you know.
Sure.
Just busy work.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Then I'm curious. With all these things that are happening sort of around you here, Temerity, do you take like leave from this? Do you step away from the house? Do you feel like you're protected enough with the blade?
I don't have the blade. I gave it to
Ooh, point.
Rye. So and I don't. If you can't hear, I feel like trying to pantomime that would be a exercise in futility. So I will continue to talk to Torvin about the runes, and I agree with Oz. If we can get some, are you able to describe them in more detail so we can write them down? Is there
He said
anything
he
that
couldn't.
you said you couldn't? Is there, how far away are we from the wall with the runes?
Well, from where you're at right now, if you were to immediately deviate outside and break left, you could get to the wall in about 25 feet. But you have no idea if the runes are there, as far as you can tell. But from the location that you were at, if you were to step down and go to the water's edge, that wall, it's about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, about 100 feet away.
I was just sitting there with like an idiot with a sword.
I will. I'll motion to the. I'm going to see how easy it might be to get the sword. Like, can I just like 1 second? Like,
Are you like grabbing it? Are you
like
grabbing
I'm
it
like
out of my
touching
hand?
it? Like, can I like just for a second?
I pull it back and I punch. No, I'm just kidding. No, I hand you the sword. It's totally fine.
Okay. Then I'll take the sword and I'll look at Torvin. I think I can get there safely. I'll see if they're still there.
Oh,
It's a good test, and I promise I will turn right around if it feels unsafe.
I'll come with you.
Let's do it.
At this point, when you step outside of the warden's home, you recognize that your detect undead has fallen. You can no longer see. It's past that 3-minute mark. Do you cast again, or do you just chance it?
I'm going to I'll cast it again.
Okay, sure enough. You manage to cast Detect Undead, and your vision sort of pales over multiple times before, almost like it's changing a lens in a light. And then you find that you can see these moving forms. They're translucent, they're transparent even. They emit this silver-like shimmer before they begin to calm and almost look smoke in form. You see them watching. Not a few eyes either. Hundreds of eyes. Some with anger, malice, others with fear and sadness. But as you take a step, they weave away from you
I lead the way over towards the wall.
Okay.
Stay with me. Well, he's short. He's not running. Never mind. I won't. I'll just follow.
Fair. You make your way to the wall. You pull back some taller grass, revealing that there is quite an intricate set of runes, scrivened in, and then etched over, painted on, in blood. You've studied
I
blood
swear
magic.
I was blue.
You may not immediately recognize, like a normal person would not recognize that there was blood here, but what you can see, having studied magic as an inquisitor, having studied rituals and things like that, that you know that you're supposed to be aware of. Blood magic is potent, especially when it requires as much blood. There is a lot. And as far as your eyes can see a wall, you can see more runes.
I'm keeping my eyes on horizons and other locations. I have a bow ready.
What would you like to do here, Misty?
My dog has decided it's playtime. Well, I've already cast a spell once and it went, so I'm feeling pretty sassy.
Okay.
I'm gonna do. Hold on a second. My computer's really making me mad. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
To get my mouse from one monitor to another sometimes is like trying to remember, because I have a understand. Does the language spell, is that gonna
Comprehend languages would help you understand a written form of word, but in this case, comprehend magic is a little different. There's more here, but there's some things that you can do. What languages do you know? I'm curious.
I know. Well, I have read magic too.
Okay.
I don't know if either of those would help. I have common, abyssal, and orc.
None of those are immediately helpful. Do you,
Okay.
you said you do have comprehend language, correct?
I have comprehend language and read magic.
All right, sure. So do you follow through with comprehend language?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. As you cast comprehend languages, you discover that this is a text that seems to be readable for you. And you recognize this. It's not something that you studied widely, right? But it starts to ring a little clearer of the fact that it's ancient Varisian magic. Give me either a DC 20, or excuse me, a DC 20 knowledge, arcana, or religion check.
And that's just clicking it, right?
Yeah. Whatever one you prefer.
That one.
Okay. 10's not going to be enough. Are you interested in potentially trying for a bit higher? Because, like, rolling a 3 is not hot. That's not it. 23 is a lot better.
That's significant.
That's a lot better. So, you actually can determine that this isn't just a single layer of ritual magic. This is fairly intricate, and it's woven together. It's complicated. This is necromancy, but it's also abjuration. It's two different schools of magic woven together, and you're not entirely certain of its purpose.
Like, not too great taste that tastes great together.
How long do you intend on studying this?
It's clear that, is it clear that they're, I will pass that information on to Torvin and see what he wants to do with it.
You look left and right, and as you're saying this to him, you realize that the magic is not ever duplicated. The words are never replications. It seems to be a single string of words as far as your eyes can see.
Any of the words, like any like partial meaning or...
You did say you have read magic. Go ahead and ping read magic for me.
Okay. Bing.
Okay. You can decipher magical inscriptions on objects, books, scrolls, weapons, and the like. The deciphering does not typically invoke the magic contained. Okay, sure. You are quite literally a catch-all for this place. So,
I don't need to be.
give me a knowledge arcana. I'm going to give you a circumstantial bonus. This is a new one.
Knowledge.
Okay, even with your circumstantial bonus, you cannot make out all the greater details. But what you can determine based off of the necromantic studies that you have and read magic is that this is one of the most, if not the most elaborate spell you've ever seen regarding the imprisoning of a soul.
Is it one soul or is it many souls?
That much you can't determine.
Okay. This is big. We should go back inside.
All right, let's
Like,
get.
yeah, I'm looking around like I don't like, you know, like when you're outside at night when you're like 12 and you're like, ooh, and then suddenly you get that feeling and you have to run back in because that's the feeling. Let's
Sure.
go.
I get that feeling in my hallway when I turn off the lights.
Me
sometimes.
too. I'm like, oh, I've been in, overstayed my welcome. Let's go. Hi, dog. Can you enough?
You make haste. You two return inside. Light jog. When you make it indoors, are you both overly excited about the details that you've uncovered? Are you prepared to share this information, or do you just kind of take a moment to let this sink in?
No, I want to give the information to Oz immediately.
Yeah, I would let him if Torvin starts talking about it, I would just let him take the lead. They don't need two perspectives.
Oh no,
Yet.
I'll be handballing that information straight over to the person that has an idea of what it was, but no, I
Oz
have
is
intent to
definitely like
share.
anxiously sitting in the chair and like once in a while like looking over at Rye to make sure he's like okay.
Then I want to hear whomever is going to tell it, either Temerity or Torvin here. Would you please, I want to hear this conversation between the two of you. Relay this for me.
I saw. I have no idea, but it wasn't that. Remember, I said it was a blue eldritch. I know it's blood.
You found blood?
Well, they are runes.
Oz, give me a knowledge arcana, please.
Sure.
Nay, it ain't Torvin. It not Elven.
Nice.
It's too small for giant.
You know that maybe it's not necessarily that Torvin was wrong as much as it is the passing of that spell hasn't quite finished. Magic can continue to live long after the person has left the area. And if it is an incantation, if it is a functioning continual spell, it essentially moves around like a clock. Once it hits 12, it just doesn't stop. It just keeps kind of going, right? So this could be one of those situations where it's just continuing to run.
You know, some spells they just keep going. Blood is powerful. I don't really try to dabble in that kind of stuff. I hear that's what well, more darker magic comes from.
Am I in the room with hearing all this as well?
Sure, yeah.
I would assume so.
You're all
Yeah, I don't
occupying
think
the same
we're being
space.
quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
The only person who can't
Really,
really
I
hear at
just
this point is
wanted to be
Rye.
able to make mops move and make things stir themselves because I'll tell you, stirring dough takes a lot of strength.
So it's what is it? What is it imprisoning then? Is it imprisoning the souls that are in here and they only have a certain time that they can leave? Or does it have something to do with what's going on with the warden?
I'm not sure.
Temerity, how old would that be? That ring, that magic? Is there like years, days?
I mean, that I feel like that would be not easy to date it on a, you know, down to the day level, but we have to be able to know whether it was dried blood or
Sure. Based on the
old
degradation,
blood.
based on the degradation of the blood that was written on the runes, your best guess is it maybe a week and a half, maybe
Okay.
since
So it's not old.
probably about the time that Petros passed.
Okay. So like a month. No, has it been a month? No,
It's not.
well, because I'm trying to think. We've been here for about a week, and then he died about a week before that, so maybe 2 weeks, less than a month. Could have. It could have been. It could have been Petros.
That sounds like it's something that's up to no good rather than keeping things inside. Is there any way we can scrub it off like they did in the graveyard, the restlands?
Well, Professor L did tell us that we needed to be quick about it. Maybe he was trying, if that is from him, maybe he was trying to keep whatever's in there.
Oh, I see. You think the professor might have placed it down?
Well, if it's not that old, maybe.
The possibility exists that it could have been him.
I think we need to stop whatever's in there
I
before it's too late.
think we just have to move in, but we almost died. We didn't even get in the door.
Either that or we could just, tuck up and run off. Leave this
Nah.
place. I'll be fine with that, too.
I can go, but I can take Pevron. He'd be safe. I could be
We
back
did
in
promise
3
we'd take
weeks,
care of
maybe,
Pevron.
but it's 3 weeks.
If that is your choice, then at the very least, I would forfeit Pevron once you've headed to the edge of town. I have no intention of staying with him longer than, well, and he kind of points to the prison outside until this is taken care of.
Do any of you here know how to juggle?
I watched
Tripp
someone
shakes his head.
juggle once.
No.
So, what's happened is you're the juggler. This moment is like all these balls are in the air, and now we don't have any more control. So we got to catch what we can.
Well, it sounds like you need some more mage hands.
We don't have enough ways to catch these balls, and they're already falling, and we almost just died.
I don't like this analogy.
We've done more damage to ourselves than those skeletons did.
I think we have to get inside. I think we have to do this. So I
I'm
think we have
ready.
to do it quickly. No, you're not. You went
I'm
we
ready
need
to
to
go
find the
right
water.
now.
You went fishing. Don't even start with me, lad. We could have moved in towards and we went elsewhere.
There was evil in that water that had to be dealt with.
Oh, well, what about the evil inside that we just said we were going to do?
It's all the
What
same
happened to that?
space. It's all the same area.
No, that one was in a river. You're after the nasty evil fish. We have
Look,
enemies waiting that will kill us, that are getting stronger, that are going into the tune. You go fishing.
Well, let
I'm
me
gonna
tell
go do
you
something about the
something
tune.
about myself. I saw that giant rat skittering across the water, and I don't know what came over me, but it was a deep rage. I used to fear the things. I used to be scared of them, but ever since I've grown stronger, nothing seems to scare me anymore, and I'm just filled with rage instead. And I just can't control myself. I had to try to kill it or saw what
It was
see
already
what
dead.
killed it.
This is not the time. We have to be in control.
Sorry, this may seem out of sorts, but Oz or Eli, do either one of you still have the planchette?
My planchette was destroyed,
I
basically useless.
If you still have it, I'd like to see it, please.
No, I think it was
I
destroyed.
threw it on the
wasn't
ground. It burned me. The glass still in my eye, a piece of it.
Somebody definitely collected it.
Wasn't me.
I had it, but I think it broke. I think it was not usable anymore. So
I think you
don't
might still have like the junk of it then. But
Yeah, the planchette broke. Is what's in my notes. So I assumed no one had it because it was broken.
Even, I'm curious, would you have just left it, or would you still like have that? Because it did say it was repairable.
I don't know that any of us picked it up, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
I
think it was
wouldn't have.
clear to us that it was.
I wouldn't have kept it with me after.
No,
Because if I knew it was
wouldn't have.
fixable, I do have mending, but I don't know.
I don't think any of us did.
Then it's probably still on the
I
floor.
can absolutely
I-
see Oz having it.
Someone would have picked that up. That like, as guests in that house, you wouldn't have just left shards of glass on the floor.
That's fair. That's fair. But did we
Well,
bring it with us?
Would have picked it up and thrown it away, probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what
I
I'm-
didn't touch
broken.
that shit.
If all else
After
fails-
I dropped it and it stuck in my eye,
There's a very
would
good
be done with
chance
it.
that Rye has it because Rye has not let anything slip by.
yeah, Rye
That's
picks everything up.
He does.
Rye wasn't
thinks he
there
should've-
though. He was not.
But
if
it
we
was
put-
it was in Kendra's room though.
But if you're saying that it was fixable, that I could mend it or something,
Yeah.
then yeah, I could. Oz could have picked it up.
Okay.
Oz will hand it to Tripp.
Cool. Looking, I guess, at the planchette as a whole, even if there's like glass and stuff taken out, he would still try to see if it was functional.
If you try to, if before you put it up to your eye, Oz like will grab your hand and take it back. Look, the last time someone tried to look through that thing, it did not go well. Now I looked through it a couple times and I saw some weird stuff.
The first time you looked through it, you saw me.
And like a wolf thing.
I would not recommend looking through it.
And he burned his eyeball out.
Trust me, please.
Diplomacy.
If Oz demands it, then go for it. Let's try to shift this into
Oz
your
has been
position.
told to take care of Pevrin. And if
Lay
he
down some of
loses an
Tripp's miles here.
eyeball
Let's see what you
because
got.
of Oz giving him the thing again. Look. I'm already getting blamed for Eli's eyeball missing. All right, 21.
That's
Oz
pretty
hands
good.
it to you. Yeah, Oz will hand it to you.
It takes a moment, and you can see that Oz is a little apprehensive, but you see it's like, I'm supposed to protect you.
Look, if something happens to your eyeball, and he looks around like as if like your father's nearby. It ain't my fault. It's your son's fault.
Thank you. He'll lift it up and then he'll try to lift his eye through it to see if what would be the best way to do this. I don't know if this is going to make sense. He's going to relinquish control of one of his eyes to Pevrin to see if Pevrin can see ghosts, because I know I can, if that makes sense. I know my spectrum's a little weird, but
Sure.
I don't know like if it'll help if Pevrin can see through it.
Sure. So you
but
want to relinquish some control.
Yeah. So as I start trying to shift back a little bit, I would kind of call Pevrin forth. Pevrin, this is going to sound a little odd, but take control of your eyes real quick. I just need to see if you can see past the spectrum of the planchette. And then he kind of puts it at me and goes, "Are you ready?" And then slowly lifts it up and then starts like gazing around.
You pan around, and there is a response. It's internal. You know, Pevrin doesn't speak while you're maintaining the body. Even if you're
Yeah.
passing the eyes, right? You hear a, I see nothing.
Okay. Let's go walk towards over here for the rooms that they were talking about. And he kind of leans out to the window to see if he can see it.
You're not feeling anything, really. And he's not seeing anything. Now, you're not entirely sure how the planchette is supposed to work. It worked previously, courtesy of some highly enchanted glass.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. The planchette does have some pretty in-depth rune work on it, and it has some cortical blessing from a god, as far as you're aware. That being said, it's not immediately working, but you've also not utilized any of your own presence for this.
Like infuse myself to the planchette?
You've been able to extend your body past the human limit.
then I would try to do that. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna do, but I would try to, I guess, have Pevrin hold the planchette and then try and possess an object. If that makes sense. I guess I would attempt to curse an object with myself. If that makes sense.
To the best of your ability, and nothing quite goes the way that you initially think it does. Give me a will save.
Stop looking at me. I'm not an object.
18.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So this is sort of what this looks like.
You don't lose your eyeball.
It's correct. You do not. You hold this planchette in front of you like you're holding onto it, maybe like a CD or a disc, or maybe you're very gingerly looking at a business card. And as you're kind of peering through this, you extend your person through this. You push your wraith-like energy, this dark energy, into this. And where that porthole, that spot where the glass was, where everybody had been looking through this, it starts to illuminate in such a way that it shimmers, almost like it's catching light. But instead of this time seeing glass, what you see is that darkness that extends from your fingertips, and now starts to shimmer and spin like a drain swallowing water, but it's your energy.
I would say like it suffuses my eye, so you see like it looks like a wraith eye, kind of just like looking into it now.
And you can see now. You can see what Temerity has seen up to this point. You've seen tracer images from here or there. As you turn quick, your peripheral catches it. You get an idea. But since you've come inside, it's sort of dulled. The senses have not quite caught it as cleanly or as clearly, but now... Here's the thing. When your vision catches the inside of that planchette and you watch on, you try to look and turn, but all you can see is the face of Pevrin. And you realize that you're on the other side of the looking glass.
Oh shit.
When your eyes turn down, you can see your own hands wrapped around like gloves of Pevrin's.
Oh.
But your wrists extend to the opposite side of the planchette. You're holding on to him. He's holding onto the planchette. But he stares back at you, and his face twists and contorts as spirits press by his body. And you can see one walk into his step.
No.
It pushes right by, and you can feel this cold just writhe up your own hand as you clench onto his, right? You're holding onto this, and you feel it. It's someone else's hand. It shifts. The bones sort of shimmy in your own hand, and you realize that you're holding someone else's.
Tripp hasn't gotten mad much since being on his adventure, but someone fucking with his friend, that's another ghost, would throw me into full-on wraith mode.
You turn and you try. You push and nothing happens. And then you can see Pevrin's eyes sort of moving, glancing around, trying to discern what's happened. But then he looks back to the planchette. Am I alive? Is this what's happened to me? What? What's this? It feels so warm. Who are you, dark beast? And why do you stare at me so?
I would like scream, I would just go, leave, and see if I could like try to, as much as I can, to force him out, if it's possible.
You say so. You scream out, leave. And the head slowly shakes. You called me. What spirit, foul being, do you call me? He waits. For those of you others that are watching, you just see him peering through this. Nothing's happened. He's not made a voice. Perceptions from anyone who's close, though.
And you said there's no way to like push him or anything like that. Like even trying, it's not.
Damn, Torvin.
I'm not strong enough to kind of move his will out of Pevrin.
No, not yet.
Oz is just anxious because he's like worried something bad's gonna happen. So that's probably why he's distracted.
Torvin, Temerity. You can tell the others don't necessarily see or hear much, but as you watch, you can kind of see the lips just faintly move, sort of like he might be. Have you ever seen someone read something and they're mouthing it out? They're like, "That's this exactly what I'm supposed to do." That's sort of what you see happening, but you just rolled enough to hear a voice sift out with an exhale. And it doesn't sound like Pevrin, and it doesn't sound like Tripp, but you can make it out. You called me. You call me, Dark Beast. Why do you call from me? The two of you glance up to see each other, your eyes meet, and you realize Tripp is not immediately in control, but something is speaking through Pevrin right now.
The lap.
Seeing as he's not going to leave, I'll at least try to get some questions out of him then.
You're gonna slap him?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Go for it. Give me an attack.
CMB.
No, this is whatever you're attacking with. So if you're just slapping at this point, it's going to be a d20 plus your base attack bonus, which should be 2 or 3 as a ranger.
It's 2.
Plus your strength modifier.
Oh, okay. So I roll roll 20.
Don't kill him with the slap.
Oh, he's because he doesn't have improved unarmed attack, he's not going to deal lethal damage. And
-1 plus 2, so just +1.
yeah. It's going to connect. But when you connect, the skin feels deathly cold. It feels almost icy to the touch. The head spins as it catches from the slap, but it never quite breaks vision. It never stops. There's no flinch. Both of you see this.
Okay.
Fuck. All right. So I guess since he's been called, he'll I guess try to get information from him. Since you've been called here, then at the very least, you can tell us what is happening within the prison. You know something.
When you say that, the three of you can see the head turn and peer over the prison, not as a point of pride, but as a point of fear. I do not know. The man that used to watch over this place. I seen it every day walking through. They erected a statue in his name. And I don't know why, because he had died years before. But I seen him here. He's not himself. No, he's not himself. He has...
What do you mean?
His men. They antagonize him. They toil with his soul. I seen him by the bay. I lived down the road in Ravengrow. I'm afraid. His eyes trail again down to his own hands. Well, I did live there. But what's the year?
I do not know. I'm sorry.
It certainly does look a bit different. That water wasn't there last time I was here. Last time I'd seen it from the hill. This place has changed, and I'm afraid it's been some time, but how can that be? Why am I here? Why'd you call me? Why'd you summon me? Why does it feel so warm?
A mistake, unfortunately.
There's so many of us that are so mean. They're nasty with the gnashing teeth. They rip and they tear at the walls. Some of them are trying to escape, but they keep getting pulled back. I don't
Trying
know
to
why.
stop them. But I need you to leave. I know I called you, but I do need you to leave this body.
Listen, since those men came, nothing's been right. Nothing's been right at all. Before I leave, you should know he's keeping someone. A big man. There's someone down there with him. He's antagonizing him. He's keeping his body for some reason. I don't know why. But whatever it is, sir, if you intend to do something about it, since you're so different than I, he's not right. He's not that man from the creek side with the statue. What was his name? Hockrin? Yes. He's a warden, right?
The warden who protects this place, yes.
No, he's not the same anymore. He's a terror.
Can you do me a favor before you depart?
Well, I can try, sir.
Maybe a futile task, but tell the other spirits to give us passage. The ones that can still listen. The ones that still have sentience like us. Tell them we wish to free them if we can.
Well, there's others here who would also like to be free. We don't want to be here. It burns. It doesn't feel good.
I know. But if you can give us that help, if you can pass the word along to all the other inmates, all the other souls here.
How many are you?
Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Counting myself.
What about Pecker?
8.
Then, I and my kind, the ones that don't want to be here, if it means that we'll get us out sooner, then I think that we'll provide you shadow and push the others away. Is it fine?
Thank you.
Then tell that one with the fire and the one with the chains. Tell them not to panic. We want to be free.
I will. Thank you.
And you find yourself on the opposite side of the planchette. You feel your own fingers release from the top of Peverin's hand, and then you have mechanical control again of them.
As that happens, you see Peverin blink a few times, and he kind of flips the planchette. Sorry about that, Peverin, but looks like that worked in our favor after all.
What happened?
Unexpected guest. But
You were awfully quiet, but at least you still have your eye. What do you mean?
another inmate took temporary control of Peverin, but we did have a conversation, and we possibly have passage now to get into the prison uninhibited, at least with less issue.
Who were they?
One of the many that's been lost here.
Well, if we have got passage, we should get going then.
No.
I don't know if Ra can hear us. Though.
He looks to Temerity and Eli. They said not to worry about them anymore. Though I suspect that means not brandishing your weapon in front of you the way you have been.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
They
Well,
don't
what
like
about the
fire.
other ones that aren't as welcoming?
Tell you what, Temerity, don't wave it so viciously, but just keep it out. Yeah.
Well, can Rye hear yet? Rye, can you hear
Rye.
yet?
If you guys have waited that time, if you've waited that duration, that full hour, then
We're gonna make him deaf by like making a bunch of
We both clap at the same time on one side of his ear and just blow it out
the
again.
words
You can
the
tell
words
the
will
parents, they're like,
sort of come back. It comes back a little bit. It's shallow at first, but you can start hearing some definition in the tonality of words. Still have to be a little loud, meaning discretion is going to be sort of to the wind, but you're beginning to hear again.
Nobody hears us. We're good. But yeah.
Raya stands up, kind of puts his finger in his ear again, kind of like tries to clear it.
You do. You manage to pull away some of the scab. The coagulated blood crusts up, and you feel the crust break away from the lobe itself.
Gross. Why?
I'm doing my job here.
I don't like it.
I think I can hear again. Barely.
That's good.
Also,
How you
just to
feeling?
tell you, as somebody who has had like scabs in their ear from like ear aches, picking it does not make it work better. It just makes it bleed again.
Generally, yeah.
Guy's one of those sick freaks that likes to pick his scabs.
Makes him feel
Do you
alive.
pick them though, because someone earlier was
are
saying
you
that they eat
dry
their scabs,
there?
which is
Right.
disgusting.
Don't do
Wait,
that.
who
Guys,
earlier
chat,
was
don't eat your
saying
scabs.
that?
Don't eat your fucking scabs. That's
Who
weird.
earlier was saying
I
that?
don't remember, and maybe it was on a different
Right.
show,
How's-
but I
guys-
was just
how's
like,
your arm
that's
right?
disgusting.
You guys.
I
don't do
mean,
that.
like, if you're a
take it,
kid,
you
maybe.
bite
Like,
down
I
and it just
probably,
snaps.
like, in the history of me, I'm sure as like a kid, I probably did or something. But
Nope.
like,
No.
Nope.
No.
no, not as like
No chunks, please,
a
goddamn.
reasonably
I
thinking
think it was because
person.
someone was saying that they had eaten their boogers before, and like everyone was like, no, and then they were like,
See, I
I've
ate
eaten
my boogers as a
scabs.
kid.
And we're like,
I
think every
100%
kid
did that.
I
I have-
100% ate my boogers as a kid. Yeah.
Every kid. Every
No,
kid. I
Cobalt.
promise
No.
you.
Yeah, I for sure did.
Promise you.
I loved
Promise
it.
you.
It was like a defining feature.
It might not have
yeah, sure.
been-
Before I was
It might
like
have been my
cognitively
best
aware,
feature.
right?
Yes.
It might be not like one of those things where I just don't remember, but in my
Correct.
cognitive memory, I've never put a
Yeah.
booger or a scab in my mouth.
I think the
tried.
difference
I know
is
you're
that-
missing
out.
What is
Years
it?
ago,
Grind them,
I
mash
did.
them,
I
stick them in a
tried.
stew.
Boil
No!
it, mash it, stick it in a stew.
That's gross. So yeah, no. I mean, I think developmentally, it's even somewhat on like the chart for the nose, but not the scabs. No. I'm gonna call bullshit.
My I need
Streamer boogers. I
need
it.
like a shot of brandy or something. That was
It's like
horrifying.
the bath water. Delphine bath
Yeah, that's
water.
gross too. Drinking other people's
Streamer
bathwater.
boogers.
The things people
You're not supposed
buy
to drink it.
are disgusting.
But it was a
you don't know what they're
bargain,
doing.
Maggie. You don't understand. It was a bargain.
Oh,
We
You
were
You get it by the
role-playing so
gallon.
well.
get it by the gallon.
I mean, it happens, right?
Why
We get
run
those
on-
we get those strong moments of role play, and then suddenly bathwater happens.
You
So
boomers just don't get it.
Are we
Good.
ready to go then? Now that we're done talking with ghosts and we
Yes.
can hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But-
hand the sword back to Rye.
Yeah,
I
I would.
hears talking with ghosts, and he looks around.
I would
and
give
he
that
shrugs.
information though. That as long as we don't brandish our weapons at the non-hostile ghost, we should be okay. But yeah,
I
How-
pass on
are
that.
they
stabs
gonna-
the closest friendly
Wait,
ghost.
Are they gonna wear
Not-
like it? Like, do the good ghosts wear blue and the bad ghosts wear pink? Like, I'm really saying this.
Easiest
How do
way-
we know?
if they're
which-
not getting all handsy with us or immediately
Aye.
attacking us, those I'm assuming are the good ones.
Temerity, you would be able to see this
Assume.
before literally anybody else.
Yeah.
You have detect
I
on
can
Right.
dead.
also
So
I
I
can also
have
just
to wait
scream
until
really loud.
someone tries to bad touch me before I can do anything. Gotcha.
Right.
yes,
I have detect undead too.
That's how
but-
insurance works.
yeah.
And just like insurance, total scam.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
So you
Is
utilize
this
detect
like-
undead?
How long does it stay on? It didn't stay on for very long.
3 minutes, something like that, and that's been 4, 5, 6 minutes, something like that.
So I guess when we first walk out, well, I'll hand the sword back to Rye and tell him like, "Hey, we figured out. Well, you couldn't hear us. The sword keeps the ghosts away, whatever. But they're just keep going with me. They're asking us not to brandish it. So I would say keep it close but handy." As I hand it back to him.
Can I like keep it in my hand as long as I like, or do I actually need to like?
They're not the
Sheathe
ghost
it.
boss of you. I say yes.
Aye.
They're not the ghost.
Brandishing it would be like you're holding it in your hand.
Okay, hold on,
I'm not swinging it.
Hold on. I can have something in my hand and I don't believe I'm brandishing it. Right? Like I can walk with it at my side, you know? I feel like brandishing it means like I have like an aggressiveness about it. Like
Right.
I'm like in a stance or something. Like I'm holding it out at something. I don't
I'll tell you
know.
what, I would like you to be as offensive as possible with that. I will disagree with the Ghost Slays. Eli, maybe that big hammer. Feel free to use it at will.
Oh, I will use it at will.
Aye.
As soon as I see another skeleton come at us down there.
Yeah, I
Well.
would say I agree with this, and Tripp, I would tell your ghost friends that
Aye. Well,
we need to just give us a little bit of a berth. We can't promise we're gonna be not like trigger happy.
if they keep
Also,
things
I
away-
looked up the definition of brandish, and it does say a flourish or waving as of a weapon.
There you go.
So to shake or wave, if you're just holding it, you're right.
I don't
You're
think
fine.
he
There's
was
a
gonna
difference
like
between
walk
wielding
around.
and brandishing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A brandish
Yeah.
is an activity you do while wielding.
So I mean, even with that, I don't know if I'm seeing it as I step out. Like if the ghosts are kind of just like dispersing a little bit.
You don't see this. The only person that's going to be able to see this is actually Temerity, courtesy of her
Yeah.
falling vision at this point. We'll say that
Nope.
it extended, or unless she casts a spell again, it starts to fall away, and it feels a little weird. It's almost like horror scene-ish. Those that are in front of you, Temerity, you can see them. They're standing there. That your allies, right? The living people. Spirits start to kind of like move and twist through the crowd, and as they do so, one of them takes point behind each of you, and they almost mirror your steps. They keep looking around, and the last you see before your vision fails, before the spell just kind of drifts away, is they're like elbowing and shoving other spirits away from each of you, trying to give you space. But they're mirroring your steps. They're almost acting like a shadow.
Ooh, cool.
I don't like
Let's
it.
get inside before we get wet and have to go get by a fire again.
I'm gonna recast Detect Undead just to keep a weather eye.
Sure,
I don't
sure,
know
sure.
why. That reminds me of like the Heffalumps and Woozles song from Winnie
They're all
the Pooh.
Mr.
I don't know.
Snuffleupagus, and I'm Big Bird. I'm gonna get in a fight with Ted Cruz on Twitter. We're gonna do the thing.
Or
Yeah.
the scene in Dumbo when he gets drunk and he sees all the like the elephants.
The
on
elephants,
parade.
yeah.
Oh, that's so.
Mhm.
That's like horror to me. I hate
Dumbo
that
isn't.
as a kid.
No, I'm with
That
you. I
fucked
didn't
with
like
me as a
Dumbo.
kid.
I like
Was-
Dumbo, but there's definitely some weird moments, some trippy shit going on.
For sure.
The
Oh, yeah.
Alice in Wonderland tripped me out as a kid, but then as I got older, I fucking fell in love with that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can appreciate Alice in Wonderland.
Do you relay any of this information about the spirits?
I would.
Now,
I would-
particularly
oh,
Temerity here.
sorry.
Would you say anything about the spirits that are sort of like creating this almost
I
like
would
outfit?
I would describe it
Okay.
so everybody knows what's going on, because that's really kind of where we're at right now. I think that in addition to that, I would add I believe we need to get from here to there. And I'll point in the general direction of where I believe the actual doorway to Harrowstone is. I think
I
we
use my knowledge of dungeoneering to see where the safest place of entry is.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna aid him in doing that.
The exit to get the fuck out of this place.
We just came from it.
You're good. You're good with me aiding him.
Yeah, of course, if you'd like to.
Sure.
I would like to not aid him.
What? How dare you?
You put your hand in front of his eyes. Here, I'm going to inhibit.
Yeah.
How would you like to aid him here? Before I give him this bonus, I want to know how you're going to do this. Are you going to like just also kind of walk around the perimeter?
I mean,
What-
I'll
what's the
run.
plan?
I can obviously I see him sort of inspecting things, you know, and so I mean I can as well, or I can just sort of point out, like a section of it, and I might just make a comment or something like, oh, it looks like it's a little weak over here, or whatever.
Sure.
So whatever. If you want me to do my own roll, I can do that.
Yeah,
or-
yeah. No, that's fine. Please do give me another roll.
Sure.
Okay. Based off of the information that you guys are aware of, it doesn't take a lot for you to realize that a single entrance into a facility will oftentimes yield disaster. And for hundreds of years, they've ran multiple entrances, even if it's like windows, right? There is the immediate front door, right? The Harrowstone facade. This is your large, like, grand opening entrance. But you're certain that there are multiple other entrances or exits based around this particular place. If you wish to go walking around, I can give you more details. If you're just sort of basing off of what you can see, then that's what you have. You have, well, there's the front door. We just climb these steps and descend deeper into Harrowstone itself.
I would also like to roll engineering just to like get a better look at the place itself.
Sure.
Like the architecture. Does it, I guess what I'm looking for specifically is, do I recognize this as a cookie cutter layout of another prison I may have been in, or
Okay, sure.
Something like that.
Another prison you've been in. Wait.
No.
Yeah. Like sometimes
Sometimes you've been in multiple prisons.
I mean, I'm just saying,
It's a hobby.
You
rank them.
You're in prison.
Now, past the facade, the immediate entrance, which is, it sort of looks like you guys, some of you are already in front of the tree anyway, near the steps. You're definitely certain that there is another entrance to another portion of Harrowstone. It doesn't really look like another prison that you may have been in. But you also know that historically, they've been doing executions outside, and there is an exterior door which will often lead to that execution grounds. People don't just walk out the front and then walk all the way around the building hoping to find other steps or what that is. That ease of access, also in case of emergency, sort of. So you are aware that there is likely going to be a gallows, a place for like a hangman's net and noose, but there's going to be a place for execution.
Okay, and the other question I have is, when we were looking at it, I mean, on the map it looks decrepit, and it's got parts of it falling apart and everything.
Yes.
Is that how it looks?
That's how it looks. Historically, this place did not look like this. It didn't. And you can tell so because the structure has started to fall. The wall outside of the perimeter has been destructed. Something has happened, and it destroyed the wall.
Okay, is it? Does it look dangerous? Does it look like it's going to collapse, possibly, or
From where you're at right now,
the roof might collapse, or?
Well, this place mirrors the warden's house, right? It's a 50-year-old building that has been, I mean, at one point or another, it had been looted. It has succumbed to the weather, degradation. Nobody here has been keeping up on it. There's not a groundskeeper. There's not consistent construction. Something occurred weakening the structure. Unfortunately, if you do not move around, you're not going to be able to determine more.
Okay.
Didn't
All
you
right.
say we should go inside?
Yeah, I'm
What
ready
are
to
we
go
doing
inside.
walking around the outside?
Well, we're not really walking around the outside. I'm just kind of looking around.
I'm saying that in character, though.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Tripp, since
Why
we're
don't you
don't
put
be a
that-
dick, bro. Just kidding.
Why don't you put that armor to good use then, and take point?
I would actually like the torch that I have, but again, keeping it not brandished in front of me, low to the ground, and once we enter inside, use it.
Are
for
we
a
going
laser.
in the front then, or is there another direction you wanted to look?
You're the one rushing us. Where do you
I'm
want
just
to go?
saying, we spent all
We
that
go
time
straight for
drying
the
off in
forward.
the fire.
Just go forward, then go to the left. Hit in the side.
All right, so we're gonna go through the front.
Through the front door. Okay.
Oh, I thought, okay.
There we go, everybody! Put your hands up! Woo!
Okay. Go ahead and
Giant dice in my way. Okay.
shift our map around so the folks can see this. It is
Right.
updated. All right, guys.
Stay tight as a group now that we're going in. Stay
Like
within
Eli's
10
Achilles
feet of
tendon when we
me.
get inside.
Okay. So, Harrowstone facade. A 2-story stone building looms in the center of the prison grounds. Ivy and moss cling tenaciously to the walls, while above the wooden shingles of the roof, they often are missing entirely, exposing the wooden rafters or the upper structure to the sky. Here and there, leering stone gargoyles perch on the eaves, once functioning as drain spouts and decorations, but now seeming almost to serve a more ominous role of sentinels. Many of these decorations have crumbled away and lie in ruined piles on the soggy ground below. Windows in the building's facade are narrow and blocked by grills of rusty iron bars. Stone columns support a slumping wooden balcony over the building's wooden front doors, both of which hang askew, revealing dark glimpses of chambers within. I'm going to go ahead and shift us on our map, getting you guys an entirely different map. Just let me find it real fast.
We finally inside. It only took us 23 episodes.
It did, in fact. It took you guys 23 episodes, but I believe.
To be fair, we tried to go in the first episode and we almost died just from standing in the vicinity.
All right, so you're going to have to bear with me here. I had originally set this up for lighting so that you guys could have access to lighting. Now, this might fuck up because, well, that's...
No, we'll see.
That's just what Roll20 has done for me. Who can't see?
Oh yeah, my lighting works. Wee.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's doing that thing again where it just
Clearly now.
everything goes slow. It just comes to a halt.
Sure.
Basically.
It's, unfortunately, it's just the
Yep.
light profile. All right, I got you.
Token in the darkness.
How about that?
Oh no, everything's
Now
too
we
bright.
see everything.
Now you see everything. That's right. That's what happens. Gotta love it. I
Hiss
don't-
like my son when he sees the sun.
Oh yeah, now it works.
See a
now
big
it works.
bear.
I have no idea why. My guess is you guys might be having a lot of resources running. Maybe. Not sure.
It's something. I don't know.
We head towards the treasure room.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that
we
checks out.
we kill the bad guys.
You know, negative Ghost Rider. I don't think so.
Dang it.
It was that I was using that as a light token for me to utilize. But that is
So
the previous
we're-
Tima token. You guys are
we're
here in the
like
very front.
Here.
Yes. You're at the front doors. You can actually assign your marching order as well. Also, this moves to a 5 foot by 5 foot.
I would imagine that I'd be behind Eli. Eli.
I'm
would be
like
first, right?
in the back or in the middle.
Are you like a
Snug
tank,
in around Papa.
Kobo? Are you like
I
tanky?
I am a tank.
Okay.
I am down 10 HP,
I am
but
a tank.
Rise not like. I mean, he can take hits, but he's not really.
I still have 7 lay on hands. So
Wait, you have 7 lay on hands, and you made me quaff a potion.
yeah,
Quaff.
because I can use them to heal or damage spirits.
You should probably use one of those on you.
I probably should, but I'm gonna be not smart and wait until. I mean, because I can heal myself as a swift action, like in combat if I need to.
Gotcha.
So
okay. All right. Wait.
as long as I have a hand free.
Is that the group up top? You see?
Oh, we're at the bottom. Oh, wait.
Yes, that is much older characters. Yes.
Yeah, I know we're at the bottom. I was just looking at those. So, yeah, after you.
All right.
Knock knock, bitches. Daddy's home.
So this
I
is
don't
our
say
marching
that,
order.
but
I figured.
okay.
This is our marching order.
Say that.
We see that Eli.
Who's this? Temerity's just off to the side.
Yep, she's
Outside,
chilling off to the
away.
side.
I said, hey, what's going on?
It's true. Some browsers don't handle dynamic lighting very well. Eli is currently leading the pack. Close behind, we see that Torvin is off to his rear left. To his rear right is Peverin and Tripp. Just behind, we see in the furthest back is Oz. And somewhere nestled in the middle is arguably 2 of our thickest characters, leaving the child, the caster, and the ranger on the outside. My confusion is palpable, but this is what we're doing. I'm here for it. I'm so excited. You guys, I'm so fucking excited.
Like, I'm really excited to kill you all.
We leave.
No, like this is going to be an exercise in learning marching order. So I'm stoked for it. I know for the old hats who've played before, you guys are good. Like you have nothing to worry about. But for those that are still new to these kind of games, the most protected people are on the inside. Those that are often picked off first are leads and rear follow-ups.
Oh yeah, that's why I said I wanted to either be in the end or in the middle. But if they're all chunked up like that, I don't know if I want to. That's like a perfect fireball, just waiting.
Yeah.
You stand in the entrance foyer. This was once a wide hall flanked by a pair of waiting rooms, but the foyer to Harrowstone now lie in ruin. With little left to hold up the ceiling, the wooden beams above sag dramatically. The wall to the north contains a large pair of oaken doors. They hang askew, waiting for their next visitors. Do you push on?
I'm gonna check the door real quick for traps.
Check for trap.
Ooh, man, this is the paladin and the fighter are checking for traps. I'm so excited. Oh, boys, let's go. Tell me how you'd like to do this.
We do what we got to. What skill governs
Perception.
trap finding?
It's perception.
It wouldn't have anything to do with engineering at all. Like if there was something that was like rigged.
Reroll.
A disabled device gets rid of, can disarm a trap.
Correct.
Right, I'm just looking for one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
you're
should
looking
not
for
be
it.
doing that.
Knowledge.
I'm like very perceptive.
Knowledge engineering will tell you if a place, generally when you think like made out of certain material, you're expected to find some of these kinds of traps. Like, oh, this place is laid cobble. Is it cut cobble? Or is it just graphed stone? It's cut cobble. We should probably be looking for like footfall traps, right? We might want to look at the walls to see if there's any like arrow traps, things like that. Those are the kind of things that a knowledge engineering can tell you.
Stu?
Okay, I'll roll knowledge engineering then.
Sure.
I also have that. Oh, of course, I rolled 2 instead of 20. Okay.
Hey.
Unfortunately, there's no extra luck rerolls.
Well, I haven't used mine yet,
Okay.
but
So
I'm not going to.
what the two of you can garner from this is, yeah, this place is probably fucking trapped. It is a gulag. It is a super prison. They don't want the prisoners escaping. You didn't roll very well, so there's no way of immediately identifying, but no doubt the guards had precautionary things laid in place so that prisoners could not escape. Do you say anything, or do you just kind of look at each other like, whap, whap?
Well, Rye does mention that there will probably be traps, but, you know, someone else may be better at disabling them or detecting them.
All right, then I guess we'll move into the first room.
I look at Torvin. What does Torvin see look?
I don't like this stone.
What don't
Don't
And then he
Don't
walks
step-
into the wall and becomes one with the stone.
Oh, God.
Don't step on slate.
Do you have meld
let
with
it-
stone? Because it is kind of cool.
No, I don't.
Oh, I think clerics and paladins can get it.
Well, I'll push open the door with my mace.
You do so. The askew door hangs, and as you touch it with your mace, you can feel as it takes just a little bit of extra strength to push by. It seems almost like it hits the decay in the door, and it kind of gives way, breaking off some of that surface before you initially push it open. And with the sound of that wood grating across the stone floor, it reveals a darkened structure internally.
Ooh, I have a great sound effect for this.
Go for it. Let's see what you got. That was incredibly quiet. Like it started loud and got quiet again.
Oh, really weird. Maybe it's because I have this. Did I need to turn this on?
I didn't hear.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Too real.
Really drawn out.
I'm
I
out.
really like it. Does anybody have like light spell that you can cast?
We have
like,
sunrise.
I have a torch currently lit right now.
Yeah, but you're Peverin, so do we have like light
All right.
that we can cast on like his shield or something?
I
I
have a
do.
sunrod.
I have light.
You have
Prestidigitation.
light?
I have light.
Prestidigitation. God, you just say you're always like prestidigitation.
I spit at the sword. I have light. I'll cast light at, if it's dark, I'll cast light at, like, Rye, lift up the sword.
Oh no! Put it on his shield.
Oh, that's a better idea.
He's
So-
front. He's in front. So
We're good?
Boss.
When
Yeah.
While everyone here is discussing, they're talking about Who's got the light? Who's gonna light? Who's gonna lead? Everybody's discussing these things. You see Peverin kind of off to the side, just waiting. Just a small amount of nervous energy sort of lapses through his body. You notice his hand shakes for a moment before he steals his resolve. But as you look in past that bent door, while the others struggle to see in the dark, you do not.
Oh,
And
that's true.
when your eyes affix to this area, they're talking amidst themselves. You watch, not knowing what waits for you. But as you go to turn, something shifts in the room, moving like a human.
I also, by the way, have perfect dark vision because apparently I metagamed for this campaign. And I did not mean to. Just went maybe 60 feet.
Oz will kind of freak out and be like, and turn to look at like whatever's moving.
It's
Can you
not
see
there.
it?
It's not there anymore.
Did you
While they're like arguing about traps, I'm like,
did you see that? There was something. I swear I saw something right there. You saw it, right? Right?
he's like talking to Pecker.
I'm drawing my boat.
Right, yeah, Rye is very keen on keeping up with what Oz detects. So he is Rye's gonna go ahead and get into dragon stance and prepare an action that if anything comes out of there that he's ready to attack.
Okay.
So I guess I am now I'm not brandishing it, but I am in a ready position. Oh wait, I can't dragon stance with the fucking sword.
You can't.
Shit. Well, I can still dragon stance, can I?
You can be in stance, but unless both of your hands are freed, you're not going to be able to maintain your stance perfectly.
Okay, fair enough then. So no dragon stance. Just
I'll have the War Razor at the ready, the silver War Razor.
Sure.
I have my
So you cast light on my shield then?
Yes.
The shield begins to illuminate like a torch, casting out in 15 feet, very, very densely so, but then fades out another 15 as it bleeds on. You can see.
All right.
The shadows continue to play tricks on your eyes as you can see Oz continuing to look in, most assured that they saw something, someone. But as you glance into the dimly lit room now, nothing. What it does reveal, however, streaks of mold stains on the walls of this foyer. The floor below is thick, gray carpet of fungal growths. Sturdy wooden doors beckon from every wall, north, east, and west.
All right, let's go make some friends. Then I will step inside.
Okay. Now, again, these are 5x5, so you are all capable of stepping into this. It's going to be a little tight because there are so many of you. You can walk in, but when the 5x5 only really matters when you're in combat. So, you step into the foyer. It looks like I'm waiting to see which token goes in first. I feel like there's some trepidation.
That's me.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, ain't me.
I can't actually move my token up
Oh, you can't. Okay.
from there.
There's a barrier.
There might be.
Wait, I know. I opened
There
the door.
is. There is. Can you actually? You can. Okay.
I can't move past
Yeah.
it. It's like a wall of death.
Yeah.
It's a
I gotcha.
wall
of walls.
immovable.
It was dynamic lighting.
Are there any runes?
This game's railroading us like Skyrim. We can't leave the area.
My head will just start spinning like The Exorcist.
You should be able to go in now.
Oz will
Okay.
take a piece of chalk and he's gonna like
Yeah.
mark the wall.
Okay.
He just puts a little OZ on the wall.
Which
Yeah, I'll
wall?
step into the off center and then I'll look around the room with my light
Um,
and see if I can find whatever Oz saw.
it'll be next to whatever door we go through in this
Sure.
room.
You pan around the
But
room,
he'll yeah.
looking to see what Oz may have seen, what figure, humanoid appearance may have appeared, but nothing. And there's nothing. In fact, the only footfall that you see in this area is yours.
Well, what you
Alright.
see inside there?
Can I get survivals,
Okay.
please, from anyone with proficiency in it?
Not me.
It means you have to have a check mark.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, is that everybody? Looks like it is.
9, 18, and 13.
Torvin, you are most certain that someone else has been in here previously. You're not sure how long it has been. Can't immediately tell. The dust seems to move with every bit of wind that hits the cracks in the wall, and it shifts, but you can see the outlines of footfall, of boots that weathered from the storms beyond and above. Were carried into this room. Smaller foot and a significantly larger foot. At least two.
There's been people here. Careful, quiet. Just here, look.
Well, Nyx was here. Remember?
It's been some time.
Rye's just gonna listen. Just in between the talking, see if he can hear anything.
Can we see which way the footprints went, too?
Can't hear shit.
Yeah, and we can make a perception for having a look.
Go for it. Give me a shot. Let's see what you got. You guys can try. You can try your skills. Please, I encourage it.
They're still all fucked up.
I'm not in the room yet, so I'm assuming I can't roll, really.
For what exactly?
To, like, look at what they're looking at.
Yeah, of course you can. There's nothing that says you can't.
Come on in.
You listen on. All of you are very carefully listening, seeing if this place might hold echoes of more than spirits past, but someone may actually be here. The scary thing about this place is not so much that you already know it's haunted by spirits, it's that it unnaturally breathes. The ceiling undulates like it's a living organism. You're not sure if it's shifting from the wind, if it's from the age, or your entrance, as it cacophonously carried the sounds of the door throughout this place. A warning bell or a dinner bell.
Are there any like are there any like posts nearby? Like any like wooden posts? Like some maybe that have fallen over, you know, that would have structurally
Not
held
really
up?
so much in this room. This room, while the ceiling is sagging in places, it doesn't necessarily look as if there is any kind of beam or post or anything like that. This is, for all intents and purposes, it is a foyer, so it's fairly vacant. There does seem to be some, like a bucket in the northernmost middle of the room. It has a few, like a very, very small amount of water inside of it, but no, not as far as you can tell.
Rye's curiosity is going to get the better of him. He's going to open up the door to his left.
There's the one behind me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't see you there. Sorry, you kind of blended in.
Do we not see any footprints where direction they might have gone either?
No, not as far as you can tell.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of not push past you, Torvin. You know, I'm not gonna like whatever. But I'm just gonna step.
No. I'm gonna open the door with you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna check. We're gonna check this.
Let's look down here.
Got it. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and remove that door for you. Do you search for traps or this door is definitely shut. I want to know what this looks like from your perspective. Do you just like, fuck it, and you grab the door handle?
Yeah, Rye just kind of walks up and kind of just to see if it doesn't open it, just to see if it's unlocked. You know, kind of.
Sure. Instinctively, without even thinking about the provocation of what it might do, you instinctively reach out and grab the door handle. But as you grab that door handle, the door swings open and comes down loudly, bah, 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 slamming tightly so, right in front of your face. You instinctively yank your hand back as the door seems to almost shift and faces pressed through the wood, almost like they're trying to escape. You can see their teeth twisting and splitting over the wood as they cry and scream out.
Not that door.
Is this like a Dark Souls door that we haven't quite found the key yet too, and so there's just skulls it's undead like over it? I don't know how to interpret this. Does it look aggressive? Does it look like it's like trying to attack me?
It looks as if it was certainly trying to get your attention. and the faces weren't trying to attack, they were trying to escape.
Oh. Maybe one of those haunts. I look over at Torvin and just kind of shrug. I look back at Temerity. Did Temerity even see that?
I don't know how anyone couldn't.
I want to go down.
I'm like
that way,
looking
but-
back and I'm like, is this where we used the haunt? Like, this is, you know, Fry doesn't know what the fuck.
I would say Tripp kind of almost looks sad to see what was happening, not scared.
Just stay strong, everybody. Why don't we try a different door and see what happens?
Oz will start fidgeting with the bucket and pulls out the hide from undead scroll and says,
Maybe we should use this.
Oz is holding a scroll.
You should probably put it on Pevrin then, if anybody.
I can put it on one touched creature per level. So 3 people.
Is that a sound that was happening?
I would do Pevrin, yourself, and Torvin probably then.
Well, don't we want, if they can't see Pevrin, does he offer any protection from their unwanted advances?
Are you asking about the spirits?
Yes.
You're not sure.
But I know that. I would.
I don't know if we should use the hide from the dead scroll so quickly. We might need
I
it.
start looking at the other
Yeah.
doors to the north.
I mean,
Oz will put
we
it
get
back
it
in the
for a
bucket.
while.
The other doors seem very similar. To your right, there is a set of double doors, and about 3 feet across, there is another single door. On the northern half, there's a set of double doors. You know that it goes further down left and right, and to the rear side of the building. You're not sure how far. You're also aware that, based on what you can see from the outside, is it's a 2-story building. And Tripp is aware that there is a basement. It's where all the bad people go.
Yeah, that's where the warden was going down
Yeah.
something. So.
Do you remember anything about the layout, Trip? Do you know how to get us lower?
Would I have that information?
No. No, you don't even remember arriving to this place.
Yeah,
You remember
just
being arrested,
here.
being bludgeoned repeatedly, and then waking up in a cell.
Tripp just reluctantly shakes his head. Sorry. No.
Eli, do you think you could break that door down?
The one with the crazy faces.
Aye.
I could give it a try.
Good lad.
All right, I will. I'll just try to give it a kick, I guess. I'll try to kick it in.
Your hammer. You got this huge, glorious hammer. What is your boot?
Hammer it is.
Hammer it is. Okay.
Smash, smash.
Make an attack.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Okay. 9. You bring back the hammer, and you take a swing as it seems to mar the wood. The faces seem to twist and pull back over the door itself where you've connected, and they start to recede, dissipate from the wall itself. You've left this large gash in the door. You're not sure how many more times you're going to have to do this, but you've left a large gash in the door.
Rye follows up with a kick. It's a real boot.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack.
Sure.
Okay. That's really good. You managed to loose a beam on the door itself, but you can tell that this might take a moment. Based on this, you're going to need to be able to do some real damage. There is, from what you can tell, at the bottom of the door, at the top, there are what looks to be like iron clasps that are clutching the, not the frame per se, but the actual door itself.
Oh, are they accessible from this side?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Torvin, as they're doing that, as you continue to watch them, like just waylaying at the door, kicking and bringing down that hammer, you can see that with every blow, the structure seems to give away a little more debris from above.
Careful, lads. Above you. The dust.
I don't know if I can get through the door then without bringing something down on top of us.
You know what? I'm gonna kick at the where the hinges are.
Can I acid splash the hinges?
Yeah, of course you can. Do you just like do this over their shoulder?
I will move out of the way as soon as Oz moves into the room.
I mean, it's like you guys are likely not. It's gonna be one of those things that kind of catches you by surprise, right? Like you are kicking and hammering away at the door, and you hear this, and then
God, she's doing it again.
I've heard that before.
the spittle erupts from the mouth, and it hits just the corner where the wall and the door meet. And it takes a moment, but you can see this spit and slime sort of bubble up, and it starts to eat away at the iron hinge. It's a very, very slow process. When this happens, the two of you that are immediately in front, while the spittle is sent soaring over shoulder, you both notice that the door handle is sort of limp.
Limp how?
As in it's no longer like taut in its place, where before you had grabbed it and it reacted to your jarring. The moment that the spit seems to connect with this, it almost feels like it just falls limp.
I will wiggle the door handle.
It's loose.
Let's see. I'll try to turn it and hoist the door open.
You twist it the rest of the way and you can hear the mechanism inside as it turns, releasing the locking mech. And the door starts to swing, giving you about a foot or so before you have to put a little more into it.
Hold on. What kind of resistance is it giving you?
About a foot in, it's fighting back a little bit.
Might be trapped. Something on the other side. Might need the pressure. Anybody have a mirror?
Send Pecker in.
No. Does anybody have a mirror?
Tripp shakes his head.
I do not have a mirror.
No, I
Let's
don't.
see.
No,
Nobody has a
Oz,
mirror.
Oz goes, nope, I don't got a mirror. I got lots of other things. But not
I've got
mirrors."
my shield is pretty polished and it's lit up, but
I
the
got
best
some
you can
manacles.
get off of it's a dull reflection. It's not going to be accurate.
They're definitely expensive, yes.
If you're gonna push that door, the rest of us better step back.
Oz will step back out of the room.
Do you swing on this door?
Step further back.
You know what? I pull out a 10-foot pole.
From
From
what?
where?
It's a collapsible.
You're
I have it
at-
on me.
Are you
It's
a
part of-
ranger? Like what?
Hold on,
I
guys.
had-
Monk?
Listen. I have a
10-foot poles are
collapsible
usually-
Big
10-foot
wild,
pole
wild got that.
that is used both for fishing and as a 10-foot pole.
All right. I will
Okay.
back
On my
up
character
for this
sheet.
10-foot pole of that's it's pulled out of nowhere.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't. Listen, I got stuff. Okay, I got things. I got.
I'm not
things.
putting my grappling hook in there, so go for it.
The only person he's been showing his 10-foot pole to is one person.
My
We all know who
God.
that is.
Got her.
A lesson in futility, you said earlier, but what about a lesson in fertility?
See? Told you.
Waka waka waka.
Oh God, no!
I push the
Put that thing
after
away.
I go into my bag and I pull out the 10-foot pole and I start screwing it together, make it a 10-foot. And I say to back up. And I take the 10-foot pole and I push on the door.
He's poking it with his 10-foot pole.
Does everybody back up?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Amazement.
I'm already
I'm
back.
hiding
I
behind
haven't-
my
I haven't
shield.
even-
Oh no!
I haven't even
I'm
gone in
just-
that room yet.
I'm not
I'm
afraid of
hiding
his
in the
10-foot
corner.
pole.
I like to think that Temerity's just sitting there is
Yeah,
like,
we
this
know
is
you're
not that impressive.
Temerity. We know.
exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. As the dust continues to fall from the ceiling and the pole touches the door, you give it just a little bit of strength. Give me a strength check, please.
Sure. Go strength, go.
Strong is your pole.
14.
14. As you push the door the rest of the way open, a stone loosens from above, and I'm ending the stream here.
We all die.
No.
No, we went to time.
Oh.
Oh.
God. What?
Yeah, we went to time.
It's already been that long?
Yeah,
No.
yes, it had. Look, yes.
We talked about muffins for an hour.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Nipple belts and blueberries.
So the
That
real-
was today's conversation.
The real question is,
We got in.
with only 2 sessions left before we go on a brief hiatus, how much time are you guys going to give me in the next 2 sessions?
Let me look at the dates.
Yeah, please do.
We're talking about the 7th to the 14th, right?
Correct.
I can.
I should be good to go later on those days. Cora and I decided to do a Grinch Christmas.
Okay.
Which is like a real low-key Christmas that we just break all the rules. Like we're picking out gifts together and stuff, and we're taking Ginny and everything. We're breaking all the Christmas rules.
I
Good.
like it.
Christmas.
I like that.
And we're not leaving our house very much and seeing anybody. We're
Sure.
just like staying with it.
We're
So
staying
it's
home
very
this year for
Grinchy.
Christmas too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very
same.
Grinchy. So I got time.
But
This
not
whole- this
Grinchy.
whole month.
I'm bringing all the festivities.
I've got a 7 a.m. on the Wednesday. However, I may not need to be. I actually have 4 7 a.m. So I might not, because I have to schedule them for everybody.
Yeah.
I do not know that I will have to be in them. I will tentatively say yes.
Okay.
We can go later those nights for me.
Sure.
That is subject to. It should be okay.
Okay.
No, look, it should be okay.
I work every day, so it's the same. If I stay late, I'll just be really tired tomorrow.
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to run the game like multiple hours, right? I'm looking at like maybe an hour and a half longer than normal. If that's okay,
should be
then
fine.
cool. Cobalt, you good with that? Wyld?
As long as there's no emergencies
I don't
for
wanna
me,
play longer.
which would affect it anyway.
Oh, no, I don't-
No, I just. Why would you know?
That is
Alrighty.
disturbing.
I do not like it. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna
Is that-
say no
Is that
thanks.
rice pole?
Oh.
Well,
That's
No.
his 10-foot pole.
Oh God.
I hope it's
Help
not
me.
connected to your face.
Open the door with that.
That's
Well-
what he opened the door with. His nose just like.
You guys are effectively in the prison. You're inside. You can technically leave if you want to, but
Have I technically walked inside? I think I'm still in the foyer.
I
Torvin's
pull Oz
nose
in.
enters the room
Yeah, we're
10
in the
feet
room.
before we do.
We're not trying to get the bad ending here. Like, what the hell? We're gamers.
that's right, you're game. This is, I mean, I'm not putting it on hard mode, but hard mode would be unkind.
We can speed run it. We can if we walk backwards into the door, it'll teleport us to the very back with no problem at all.
We just
That's
keep running around in circles on the edges of the floor and the wall until we find the point that we can actually clip. Then we're
Okay.
good.
I hate this.
So you guys do have like your beginning stuff, right? Like we used to call them like BDU beginning stuff. So like you guys should like got a pack, right? Like sometimes you get like an engineering pack or a merchant pack or whatever.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's in
Yeah,
Pathfinder?
the 10-foot pole. It's just that it's weird because it's a very common item that not many people use. So
It's-
it's surprising to see it.
In the 17 years that I've played, this is about the 4th time that I've seen it used. 3 of which were done by rogues.
Really?
Yep.
The second
I've
So
time.
used a
great,
10-foot
like-
pole before.
I love going into my pack and finding all sorts of cool things. You get
Yeah.
like all sorts of neat stuff. You get pittons and hemp and
Mhm.
like
Mm.
yeah, water skins. You can do stuff with that too. Like
Can.
all sorts of stuff. But like each pack is different though. So I'm curious what pack you guys took or if you know.
I
you
didn't
took
take a pack.
I didn't take it back.
I
Gotcha,
took
okay.
Picked
my
all
own
my
custom
shit.
items.
You don't need
Like
adventuring packs when you got
Chicken
family.
clothing
My God.
crafting kit.
I bought different kinds of tobacco.
I feel like
Gotcha,
though next
okay.
time I might have to take a pack because if I could maybe get a 10-foot pole, like a random 10-foot pole, like
I
pull
mean,
it out,
that's
like
fair.
Yeah, it's a collapsible one, but it's
I
super
didn't bring
useful.
a pack because I was going to a funeral.
I have a crowbar.
That makes sense.
I mean, I travel with all this stuff. Like I have a grappling hook. I have flint and steel.
It's true.
I have
Rye
fishing
also
hooks.
doesn't really have a home. He just pretty much stays on the move
Yeah.
and bounces around from tavern to tavern.
Because he's an orphan from Nadal, so no one
You
loves him. I'm
know,
just kidding.
if you give me that grappling hook, I could dual wield, baby.
You want you want a dual wield grappling hook?
I've seen
Ooh,
crazier things.
grappling hooks. I don't know what it is.
What you need to
My
do
character
is
is
you need to
now
put
Scorpion.
your
Right,
shield
like-
on the end of a grappling hook and swing around and hit people with your shield like Captain America, like some weird like Soul Calibur Ivy shield weapon.
The only thing that's gonna hit my shield is flesh and blood, bones. Okay.
Yeah, like Kendra.
That's aggressive. Wow!
That was my hammer, and Petros was very fragile, and I didn't expect that. His decaying body could not withstand the weight of my blow, and neither could Kendra apparently.
I'm gonna go ahead and give everybody their sign outs here, their calls, so that you guys can get on down the road, right? And we will have a longer game next week. Still starting at the same time, about 9 p.m. Eastern, and we will run. I mean, I guess until y'all say when, because eventually you'll tap out. It just happens that way. I'm gonna be prepared for it. Okay, Cobalt's like, oh, bitch, it's not happening. He's in it for the long run. So we're going to start, actually, with Cobalt here. Oh, wait, I just completely changed. You know what? You guys have seen this 22 times. You don't need to see scorecards here. So, Eli, Cobalt, tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
I play video games on Twitch a lot, and I'm doing Isaac and Pokemon, and my voice is all fucked, but I'm still trying to stream.
Nice.
And Thursdays I do D&D on Roll For It at noon, and that's a lot of fun as well. And that's pretty much all I have going on right now. I'm gonna be doing longer streams because my kid's back in school. He's not sick at least anymore, thank God. So yeah, I'm just trying to get my voice back and streaming at 5 p.m. Come get at me.
Good. Very good. Then we're going to go to Oz. We're going to stay on the top row. Oz, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm MargaretKrohn, and you can find me at MargaretKrohn. And I do lots of things on the internet. So if you want to find out about them, follow me. But the next thing I will be doing is I will actually be over on Roll For It as well on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. BST, where we'll be playing some more Dungeons and Dragons. It shall be good times. And it's Vlogmas. Vlogmas is starting up, so I will be doing some vlogging for Vlogmas. And I also make video games for a living. I'm currently working on a project called Ashes of Creation, and you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places.
Sick. That's what we like hearing. Torvin, Wyld, tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
I'm basically streaming every day forever, and will forever, because Minecraft lives on forever. A brand new version has just dropped. It's bigger, it's larger, and to give you an idea of some of the things we're doing on
It's
the
like a
stream.
10-foot pole.
Oh my god, we just accidentally built an entire Minas Tirith. And
I saw that.
now,
Accidentally?
yeah, and that's now that is a mega build from an old ancient version. We're actually able to bring it up into the normal world level where C is. So now it's where it should be if you were playing, as opposed to just this, build in a void. So we actually now have enough space to do this insane mega build. So yeah, come on over, take a look at our madness. It's really crazy.
Awesome. Dope. I love it. Okay, perfect. Then we have Miss Temerity. Tell us about you, boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
I'm just running and everything hurts and I'm dying. I did 20 miles on Sunday, raising money for Able Gamers, not St. Jude. Poor Steve's gonna kill me. And I'm doing it next month again. I have a 23-mile run in December. So if you're into self-flagellation in the form of potential medals,
Farting?
flagellation, not flatulation.
Oh,
like beating.
that's better than farting.
And I'm playing. I don't know. I'm playing games and making purses.
I don't really think that's
That's all
super
at the same
conducive.
time while
Yes.
you're running.
Yes, all while I'm running. I made
That
this
sounds
the other
dangerous. That's
day.
pretty.
Right? It
That
was
is
pretty.
blinging.
You
Right?
Go inside.
And it's got Link and Zelda inside.
I want one.
It's pretty
Dude,
sick.
I would
I'll
hold
make
that
you
for
one.
my fiance in Vegas
Right?
when she went to the restroom.
Right?
All right.
It's pretty tight.
I would, but some purses you would not hold. I
No, there's some persons I
Nope.
wouldn't hold for
Not
my
ugly
friends.
ones. I'd be
Right.
like, you take that in there with you.
Put it on the floor. No one gives a shit about that.
Yeah.
I also just finished. No, I'm sorry. I'm about to finish. Unpacking, which if you have not played it, is perhaps the cutest game I've ever played in my entire life. Like
I saw some people playing that.
literal game
So
of the
good.
year for me. Like I am so enamored by it. It has such a simple story, but it's so touching and it's like heartbreaking and heartwarming.
Dory.
Yes, it has a weird,
Mhm.
like
does.
subversive story, and you're like, wait, why did I have to put this? Oh my god! Like you feel like it's like
You're uncovering their life through their move.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're not
it's
just moving for the fun of it.
No, they're moving to different phases of their lives, right? So like, just not to spoil a whole bunch of things, but right, you start out in your kind of childhood bedroom, and then you move to college, then you move in with a roommate, and they don't. There's no kind of there's very little information around it, but you get enough, and it's really touching and cute.
And textual.
Yes,
I like it.
exactly.
That's cool. I love stories that like that. Like
Oh, it's so
Journey
worth
is one
it.
of those stories that if you've never played Journey, I think you should. It's a very short game that you can play. And there's no talking in the entire game, but like it tells the story from like you just experiencing it, which is
I'll
great.
check that out. That sounds familiar. There's no talking in this one either. It's just
Very
all
beautiful game.
Yeah, unpacking.
Perfect.
I have real boxes, but no, I'm gonna play a video game about unpacking.
Perfect. Rye, hello. Tell us about your boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
What up, everybody? I stream in like the really early morning, like the AM, so several hours from now usually. I guess the modus operandi lately has been watch YouTube for a couple hours and then game. So, and by watch YouTube, we've been watching a lot of trash TV. Like we've been going through this show called Moment of Truth. I think the next show we're gonna watch is Bad Canadian Drivers, which yes is a real show. Some of the games we're going to be doing is RimWorld, Call of the Wild, Synthetic, which is a pretty badass game, and I don't know, probably Domina. If you guys haven't played Domina, it's a
Fucking love
gladiator
Domina.
sim. So yeah, if you're Insomniac, you want to join us, you can just go to twitch.tv/Ellohime, and you can find all the social medias there if you want to.
Amazing. Tripp,
18 or older.
Played by XanderDarks. Tell us about your boss. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hey everyone, Xander. You can find me here on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. Currently playing Path of Exile, finally buckling down, trying to get decent at that, and then getting ready for Endwalker for Final Fantasy. So, yeah, loving that story, loving the games. You guys want to
Good.
come chill? Yeah.
That's what I like hearing. Guys, that kind of leaves me. I'm just a regular dude. Just out here playing tabletop games. Well, at least trying to. If you like what you've seen here tonight, feel free to follow. If you want to keep the stream alive, keep the dream alive, check out Patreon. And it kind of pays my bills and stuff. But if you don't like it, then I guess go to all their streams because they're infinitely better at this than I am. So
Lies and slander.
take care of yourselves, guys. Do what you do.
Yeah,
Stay safe.
How dare.
Stay nerdy. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Don't know what we're doing yet. Who knows? Maybe I'll check out Unpacking. I don't know.
So cute.
I want to check it out.
I cannot recommend it enough.
The art style's pretty too. It's like cute too.
Oh yeah, and drink saltine crackers and orange soda.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill him.
Drink
Put mayonnaise
saltine
on your
crackers.
muffins.
Oh,
You
put
blend it.
silica packets in your fridge.
Mustard
you
on your
can- it
watermelon.
works.
In the
It works.
fridge.
It works. Not on your food though.
I'm gonna uninstall OBS.